What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the A Show with the Kings, a pro wrestling podcast. I'm stretching. I don't know why I did that.
Hit a stretch, baby. Come on, we got a long show. Hit a stretch, man. You deserve it. Ain't nothing wrong with a little stretch. I'm a stretch right now.
Of course, obviously, I am Justin here with Meelz. What a week we have on the show this week.
Boy, when it's Mania week, it's Mania week, man. Listen,
I'm already tired. And I have not.
They try to take you out like Stone Cold before WrestleMania 19, baby. They try.
Yeah. I gotta pack. I gotta do all of this crazy stuff literally right after we do this show. So,
well, listen. It's a good stress because you know you're about to have a whole bunch of fun and stuff like that. So I'm happy that you're gonna be in Dallas this week and get to experience. It ain't quite Barcelona, but you know, it's Dallas, baby.
But Barcelona don't got the barbecue that Texas got. Yeah,
Texas is a little bit different. It's a little bit different. Of course we're here, man. Listen, today is the day of all days. This is our yearly WrestleMania prediction party. Good Lord, man. We do this every year. I've loved doing this every year. First year we did it, I think we did it with just Amp, and it was a blast. And then it has since expanded into us getting these guests that, you know, we try to get throughout the year. Because of our recording schedule, maybe we haven't had a lot of guests lately because we were very particular with our recording schedule, considering we're bi-coastal boys. But
yes,
we've reached out. You know, we got a couple people on the show. Definitely, of course, you're going to hear it all through. We got the whole A Show syndicate pretty much here. The A Show network is going to be featured on this show. That means all of us in the same room at once. We might have to... Low-key, we might have to start a Patreon show. So when we were recording this, I threw on AEW Dark while we were recording it, so playing it in the background, and we didn't record a part, but we might have to do a Patreon show of all of us watching AEW Dark and just random
we could call it the Dark Side.
So we might have to do that because that was some of the funniest shit that I've ever seen, including it's over.
No, hold on. If y'all on Patreon want to see and hear us watch AW Dark, let us know in the comments.
Let us in the comments. I'll set it up, baby. I'll set it up. Mondays before Raw, we get it in. So we have that on the show. Of course, we also featured none other than illustrious guest Trevor Trout on the show, man. Trev got some words, man. We talk about a lot of the attraction matches that are happening, a lot of celebrities, a lot of comebacks. We talk about a lot of it on that select part of the show, so you make sure to tune into that. And then for the ladies, we have I am Mimi Chelles on Twitter. It is Mimi herself. And we go long form on the women. We have a discussion. We have a conversation. We have multiple conversations, to be honest with you.
Yeah. You get to learn a little bit about her story, which is extremely just interesting and really kind of like, you know, inspiring to the story of pro wrestling and how it kind of attracts all ages and all genders and all, you know, forms of people. You know what I mean? Like, she, you know, the way she came into it, I didn't expect to hear it from, you know, that way, you know, and right. she really, we had a really good conversation, and I think, and I said this on the Discord, you know, it's a conversation that we needed to have. I don't want to spoil it, but you guys will hear it on the show.
Absolutely. For the ones listening to the show who definitely want to hear about the ladies, we go damn near an hour long about the ladies. So this is more than enough. This is all that you can get of us talking about the current women's division and everyone who's represented at WrestleMania. But this is the WrestleMania prediction party, man. Like, we're here. It is WrestleMania week. And of course, we got WrestleMania week news. First of all, let me see if we got, I think we also got some new patrons. Let me slide into the patrons. But we got, let me see. Oh, I thought I could do this from my phone. Oh, actually, you know what? I can't do this from my phone. Shout out to.
Okay.
No, I got it. Shout out to our new patron. Okay. We have Young Man.
Hello, young man.
Hello, young man. Hello, young man. And then we have Parham Habibi. Shout out to you, my friend. New patron. You came in at the right time, baby. I hope you binge the X8 Diaries. I hope you binge the Legendary Run. I hope you enjoy your extra bonus content you get from the A Show, the War Report, Rewriters Room, and everything under the sun. I hope you enjoy everything. Make sure to subscribe. Actually, sorry if I'm going on the biggest rant ever. I'm sorry, man. Next week will be our 1 year anniversary of starting the Patreon.
Yes.
So what we're going to do is, for the people who want a sample of what we're giving on this Patreon, of what it's giving, I'm using my hands right now, what it's giving, I think we're gonna try to slide in a couple of Patreon exclusive shows. So maybe, Justin, you pick out a show that you really like, an episode, maybe of either Spot Callers, a Legendary Run that you want to feature on the public feed. I'll pick something off the Invasion.
How about we do this for the first time ever next week, for the anniversary? Same time, new episode of Spot Callers. Hardcore Heaven 96, me and Cyrus, Spot Callers. First time ever.
Okay, you getting it live and in color, baby.
Day and date, both days, you're gonna get a new episode of Spot Callers. We haven't done it on the public for a year. You guys are gonna get both for the anniversary. Just to let you guys know, what you're getting. Me and Cyrus are gonna do that episode just for you guys.
I think what I'm going to do is, I'm going to drop the final episode of Invasion Diaries. That is the one where me, you, and Mark are riffing about the post-invasion, and we're also singing like top 40 songs and shit.
Yeah.
So we're going to drop that for free. And of course, I mean, if you ever thought of subscribing for the Patreon, it's going to be there. I mean, we got a lot more stuff coming as well. But yeah, I mean, that's it for the Patreon. This is the WrestleMania prediction party. But we got some news to take care of. We got some news for the week.
Yeah. We got to get through this quick. Johnny Gargano reappeared on not Oral Sessions anymore. It's now called Sessions.
The Sessions, baby. You know what? A+ name.
Yeah, I felt like she was trying to be a little too cute with the oral part. That was a little too much. So he was on the Sessions with Renee. Johnny Gargano talked about why he left NXT and WWE. He said that he knew a year before that he was not going to resign. He says, "I felt like I was in a good place. I felt this way for a while, and to where I felt like I accomplished everything I wanted to accomplish in NXT. It's kind of a scary thing to have a new baby and decide I'm going to turn down this new contract. That's a good contract, a safe contract that you're going to get money every single week coming in to go off and do your own thing." He said he was very lucky to get that chance, and because so many people thought he resigned, but they were like, nobody gets this treatment. But he was able to get that promo that we remember on his final episode of NXT, and he said he sat down with the writers, and all the words that came out were my own. I wrote my own thing. I wanted to thank people. I wanted to do good things like that. I feel like I have such a good relationship, a good rapport with everyone in NXT and WWE in general. Yeah.
All right. Well, listen. He says he's wanted the most, thing was he wanted to do this for like a year and a half. I'm interested in kind of like, because the climate of the independent scene hasn't been the best, especially since at the beginning, the year and a half ago, was pretty much the pandemic was already in motion, and a lot of things have not survived the pandemic. A lot of things. So I'm interested in kind of like where he wants to go next with this. What does he want to do? We had our own discussion of like, if he eventually does want to come back to the WWE, is the door open, and is the position that he was, is the position that he had, is it still there? Is it still available?
I think only he knows. I think only he knows. Only he's in contact with the people that he needs to be in contact with. I don't think that there's room for him on that new NXT. Like I'm pretty sure that's but for him to have the foresight, to be like, this is a year before. This is before anyone really had any prior warning that this was going to happen. He says He had made up his mind a year in advance. He said he wasn't leaving to go to any particular place. So he said, I just feel like I needed to go because I feel like if you watch a TV show or you watch anything in general, you see the same character. And obviously he changed characters. He did heel stuff and funny stuff. He says if you see the same people on TV for 5-6 years, it gets stale. I believe being off TV and being away makes people miss you, and I think people need to have a chance to miss you. So,
ooh, you know what? That's a very underrated fact in professional wrestling. I think,
absolutely,
or not even just in wrestling, but in entertainment as well, right? Like, I always called that break the Usher break. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Usher would go away for like 3-4 years between albums. And you'd ask yourself, damn, when that new Usher album coming out? We need that new Usher. Like, you talking about R&B. It's like, yo, we need that new Usher. Now, I'm not sure how many people are saying it today, but but back in the day, in my day, we were asking, yo, where's that Usher? And I definitely do think that breath of fresh air. That's why I've always kind of been even a proponent of, like, if we're not, yeah, well, even if we're not going to do an off season, cycle these people out. You know what I'm saying? Every 2 years or so, I feel like you should get like 3 months off or something along those lines, or you can like sparsely use them throughout the year. But I think you should cycle these people. It allows for other people to get in opportunities where you never had the opportunity for. It allows people to rest and recover. It allows people to do all these other things and explore things and come back with a refreshed kind of mind state. I've always been a proponent of that, especially in professional wrestling, which is like 52 weeks a year, every year. For the end of time. And I think while it works, I think it could, I think our people should use that. So I actually kind of like that from him. I hope he saved all his money. I hope he's good. I mean, he's had his baby. Candace is chilling. Johnny is chilling.
She's still getting paid. She's the woman of the house. You feel me?
God bless her. Gotta have one.
But yeah, I not much to read into. I mean, I'm glad he's happy that, there's no vision of where he would go next either way. I feel like he, as in a different situation than like Cole and all these other people, where it was just like, it wasn't that he didn't want to try. It was that he was like, I want to spend some time on my own with myself, with my wife, with my baby, with, and reaffirm and kind of center myself. And that's, everyone should really have that. If you have the opportunity to do that, you should definitely do that. And, I like this interview. I thought it was a pretty good interview.
Absolutely.
Next piece of news here. Paul Heyman says he signed a long-term deal with 2020 with WWE in 2021. On the Sports Media podcast, he said, he signed a long-term deal. He says, public knowledge that my contract came up last year, and I kept it very close to the vest because I'm not one of the people that A, want to negotiate in public. B, I'm reading an awful lot lately about who signed it for how long and how much, and I never want that to be me. This much I will say. I re-signed with WWE last year. It's a long-term agreement. They created a situation where I would have been a fool not to take them up on their offer. I'm locked in for a while. This has been the case for a long time for me because I do outside projects because I like to multitask, and I'm very ADD and I can't concentrate on one thing ever in my life. I have carve-outs to allow me to do other projects, which is also to WWE's benefits because I'm locked in there as well. So it's looking like what I would expect, or what I hear from him here, Meelz, is that like he could be part-time if he wanted to be. So I'm thinking like maybe this Brock and Roman thing ends or they go away. He could go away too, realistically, and come back whenever he wants to.
Absolutely. And I think he's earned that right. I mean, he's been, for the large part of his career, he's been part of WWE for over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I think that, and the things that the consultation that he brings, you know what I'm saying? The mind that he brings, the talent that he's bringing, everything you say down the line, you look at that. I look at Paul Heyman and a similar thing that I would look at. I mean, I don't know why it's the top of my head, but like if Chris Jericho signed to the WWE now in 2022, right? Like you have the ability to kind of, call your own shots now because you've contributed so much. And you know what? I'm happy for him. It would have been, interesting to see. I think WWE sees value in him, considering, all the releases we've had over the last year and stuff like that.
This is a guy that if they even fucking tried, you'll have Roman on your head. You'll have Ronda on your head. You'll have Brock on your head. He is Teflon. Like, there is no one that what I'm saying? Even Bobby Lashley, he's helped out. Think of how many people he's helped out in that roster.
Some we don't even know.
Yeah, exactly. Like, he is, the elder statesman. He is that guy. And
He's the reason why Street Profits got called up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. If listen, man, he would have been a fool. I don't know how much money it was. He would have been a fool to turn it down. They would have been a fool to not give it to him. That's how I feel about it.
Absolutely.
Some more spicy news. You want some spicy news?
I'm here. I'll bring out messy Meelz for the WrestleMania prediction show. Let's see.
It was reported that MJF and Tony Khan got into a heated conversation last weekend over MJF's most recent interview with Ariel Helwani, where he talks about his contract status with AEW, talks about all manner of things about AEW, and that he would be open to going to WWE one day. You can't have that.
No. Well, first of all, I think it's bad business practices to be talking about that so flagrantly as well. I personally think as much as he's like, yo, I want to start the bidding war, at the end of the day, both of them could just decide, I don't want you. and so he could be fucked.
So according to Fightful, they learned that, they had a discussion that left both men frustrated. The conversation stemmed from MJF's interview, where the two spoke for over an hour, notably about his contract status. We're told that the contract status of MJF is what has left the young star frustrated as of late, but Tony Khan took issue with the interview being set up without notifying AEW's PR team. So
we know that.
Two conflicting things. One of them is that Tony's not even talking about the contract shit. He's just talking about, I didn't know about it. Another one is that MJF, his deal's up in 2024. 2022, we're almost at the midpoint, Meelz. Usually you're starting to negotiate at this point.
I believe if I had to pick one, not to say that both can't be true, but if I had to pick one to believe more than the most, it's definitely you did not tell us before you scheduled this interview.
Yeah.
Considering we've had, experiences in the past with that in AEW talent. But I could believe that. I mean, they want everyone to tell who's doing an interview. They kind of want to control who's talking to who and who's talking to what. MJF so flagrantly is like, I'm sure Ariel Helwani dipped in his DMs. Everyone has booking emails. Everyone has emails at AEW. It's not like it's set in stone. If they didn't, they would have these exclusive agreements, which I'm not sure that they actually have. Maybe select select wrestlers. Sorry, AEW guys. Select wrestlers. Don't have exclusive deals. I'm not sure, but if Jon Moxley can go kick ass anywhere he wants to, I assume anyone can kick ass anywhere they want to. So you could really just email a person, talk to them, they set it up, you do the thing.
That part sucks, but to MJF's point, I'll play devil's advocate here. If you're on Tony's side, I'll go to the MJF side and say, if I'm seeing you buy ROH, I'm seeing you sign Cole, I'm seeing you sign Punk, I'm seeing you sign Daniel Bryan, I'm seeing you sign Keith Lee, Swerve, and you telling me
you just let go an EVP.
Yeah, and you just let go Cody and you say, tapping his pockets. I don't know, man. I don't got it. You gotta get this. I don't know, brother. Yeah, I don't got it. Like, no, no, man. Like, I would be pissed too. Like, I would definitely. I wouldn't do that, but like I would. It's just weird to see this type of handling from their talent, because usually you only see it, one way. But I feel like in the past 6 months, Meelz, like ever since Big Swole came out and said that, or it wasn't even 6 months ago, it was like 3, really. But ever since she came out and said that, the wheels are kind of not coming off, but like the carriage and the train is open, and you start to see what's inside the damn the cargo.
Well, what's really going on. They don't have any actual like way. There's no structure. As she would say, there's very little structure in the things that they do. I know Kenny is an EVP, but him going to Wrestler Observer newsletter days after the Cody release thing was very
and that being okay. Yeah, and that being okay
was perfectly fine. I mean, I don't know whether he was reprimanded for it or not.
No,
but
no, of course he wasn't.
Yeah, if MJF wants to go on Ariel Helwani, who's a great outlet, if you want to be on there, you know what I'm saying? The greats are on there. MJF is on there. He was clearly wanted to be on this show. It's not necessarily. I'm sure he was like, it's not a bad thing. Why are you tripping? Like,
yeah.
like why you wilding? Like, you got my contract? Yeah. Well, where we at with those? You talking about you focus on me on these interviews? It's like, you better be able to pay me when it comes time.
Exactly. Where my money, Nick?
Where my money?
Get this man his money, man. Like, listen, I'm not a huge fan of bro, but like I can't deny that like that fan base, well, like they love him, bro. You know what I mean? And if it's down to a sense of like who could realistically from that fan base come over to WWE and follow whoever leaves, it's definitely him and Cody to me. They would leave there to go watch WWE for him.
I feel like MJF has the higher ceiling in AEW still by like a lot. So I don't know if I'd be just willing to like step over the line just because I could, because I do feel like his ceiling in AEW is definitely up there. He is a future AEW world champion. That is for sure. A future WWE champion. Can't confirm currently. But listen, just, keep that talk to yourself. You know what I'm saying? If you really about this business, never talk business in public. Never talk that stuff in public. You'll never hear that from all the businessmen of the business. Take a word from Kevin Nash. Talk about it all after the fact.
Yeah.
Take a hint from him, and you can let him know in a shoot interview about how you bent them over a barrel and took all their money.
Yeah, be smart, bro. Just be smart. You know what I'm saying? So, real quick, do you want to talk about WrestleMania Raw, really quick? I mean, it definitely felt like a big show. It felt like a big show. Oh my God, how? Listen, what happens is on the show, when the stuff happens like that, and I think it's really just like a tragedy of just the way that news moves, that we forget about this type of stuff. Because we've been down about it for days, but now it's like, damn near 5 days removed. But yes, Triple H did announce, and we should have started this off, but Triple H announced
that Wednesday. It's that Wednesday news cycle, baby. Guess it's every time.
He announced that he is done in the ring on Stephen A. Smith's his show on ESPN Plus. Triple H described his cardiac incident last year, what happened, the road to recovery that he's been going on, and Stephen A. Smith asked him, are you able to wrestle again? He said that part of my life is done. He said, I have a defibrillator in my heart right now, so
which
that
is wild. It's wild to consider that Triple H is done wrestling, considering it felt like at any point, if they wanted to pluck him out and pull him for a match, he would absolutely do it. So to think a guy whose career never really wanted to become a movie star, never wanted to really become anything. He just loved professional wrestling. To think it's kind of over. I mean, I think because we've seen it so many times, maybe it doesn't, and then it's been a couple of days, so maybe it's not hitting as hard as possible, but I'm still kind of like taken back that we will, I don't even say likely, we will never see a Triple H match ever again.
No, that's a big never on that one. I don't even think they'll even risk it. I don't even think they'll risk it like they would with like an Edge or a Daniel Bryan or even a Corey Graves, like they wouldn't even, they're not risking that. I mean, just his career, people are like, well, he has to go in the Hall of Fame next year. I was like, give him a couple years, man. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he got to be ready to do that. You know what I mean? And we don't know mentally where he's at. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't know if he's ready to have that speech. He's ready to give that, you know what I'm saying? To say, okay, hang it up in that way. And plus he's going to be like a main event. That's a main event Hall of Fame to me. I don't care what nobody says. And if they're going to put The Rock in next year, The Rock's not in, right? No, right?
No, The Rock is definitely not in.
Yeah, if realistically they're thinking that they could do that next year with The Rock, I don't think you do Triple H the same year. I think Triple H has to have his own because he's just even just outside of the ring stuff. It's just worth it, and have like Stephanie induct him or something like that. Like that would be dope. You know what I mean? That would be cool. But if he's not ready for that, I think we just look at what he's given us, and I think people will probably. I think this might be controversial. People are probably going to look more at his like out of ring stuff as being the most influential part of his career, but like you look at how he put the fucking game on his back in 2000, and I think that's the most influential part of his career that makes him a Hall of Famer, in my opinion.
I mean, I look at it at all sides, man. First of all, even just seeing him on Stephen A's World and stuff like that, my biggest fear was we'd see him and he would be like not well, like clearly looking sickly. So that was my biggest fear. But he looks good. Yeah, I thought that beard is gonna be gray. Nah. But he looks like, he looks able. He looks like he's moving and stuff like that, and he looks like he's fine in a sense. But he is definitely going through a lot of problems, and he says like through this experience, like he learned it all clicked to him about his family's history of health problems, and I was like, man, that's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy to think about it and experience as well. Just looking back at that, and we always encourage our friends and stuff to at least like go to the doctor, get yourself checked out, at least as frequently as possible, because you never know. I mean, these situations, he had a near death experience. Like, we could have lost Triple H. That would have been incredibly damaging and insane too. As he's like, still around 50 years old.
And he said, I mean, he further comments on it saying that it was something that ran in the family. They kind of, and I hate to even just bring up the negative part, but that's just me. Like, people saying that he had heart problems because of the power struggle in NXT and WWE. It's like, this was a sobering reminder that this shit is not worth and not bigger than your life and your anything going on. Like, all those people should really be ashamed of themselves for even speculating that type of shit. Like, that's crazy. You know what I mean? Like, this dude, he got daughters. You feel me? Like, that's just a crazy thing to even have said about it. But just hearing him say it was like, yeah, like you got to sit it down, bro. And if you can't do NXT, which we know is stressful, clearly is stressful, a stressful gig, then we're glad that you're not doing that too. But he says that he's just now, like he said it, like I think Stephen A said he's not even 50% better yet. He's still recovering. He's like just returning to the office, they said. So I wouldn't expect to see him on any type of programming for a couple years.
Man, I just wish the best for him, man. I really, really do. It's tough, but I think he's had a more than fulfilling career. He's the game. He's been around. He's synonymous. Like, people know who he is. People will always know who he is from the contributions he gave to the business and just how long he was there and everything that he's done all after the fact. So his footprint, his fingerprint, his mark has been left on the wrestling business. And you know what? It's for the better,
Yeah. No more WrestleManias. Triple H.
Nah. What do you think? Yeah. You want to get into WrestleMania Raw?
Yeah, WrestleMania Raw, to me, felt like a real go home show for Mania. I told Cyrus yesterday, this is the last WWE programming I will watch before Saturday. I'm not tapping into SmackDown. I'm just telling you that right now.
All right.
This is the last WWE. Well, I can't.
I mean, I'll watch the SmackDown. My guy is on there. A couple other people that I like. I'll watch the SmackDown.
You're not watching the damn Andre.
I mean, I'll watch everything.
This shit don't matter on SmackDown. Like that, SmackDown legitimately does not matter this week.
No, it doesn't matter this week. But I'll be there. Here's the thing about WrestleMania week, and when I wasn't single before, it used to be the same thing. I've committed myself
to the hours
for this entire weekend to professional wrestling. There is no other commitments I have, and none that I will take. I have an hour on Sunday to record Titan Time, the final episode of Attack on Titan.
That's not the episode. It's gonna be a movie.
Yeah, there's gonna be a movie or part 3 or whatever the fuck after the fact. But I've dedicated an hour to that on Sunday. But other than that, wrestling is my religion from Friday through Monday. I might take Monday off. I don't know.
Yeah.
I might.
You should.
I might.
You should.
WrestleMania Monday. Listen, if you, I'm not saying, listen, if you got the time, take it. I'm not gonna I'm not gonna force anyone to do this, but if you down with the cause, WrestleMania.
All right. All right, this is too much. No, I mean,
Monday, baby.
WrestleMania Raw does feel like a actual go home show, and you had some really good promos. You had a stellar. I think everyone's talking about the Becky Bianca thing, right? Like, I mean, the full disclosure, we did the women's part before Raw, but
Right.
that promo was incredible, or that segment was incredible. It was legitimately. She brought out those scissors. The world stopped. It felt like, right? Like, I watched it later, but I was like, oh, I know people were clutching their pearls at this one. This is like some real heel shit. Right?
Man, first of all, shout out to the opportunity. You know that Bianca Belair is an elite class. They gave her, you get the promo by yourself. You know what I'm saying? I don't think a lot of women on the roster, and it's not that they necessarily can't, but I just don't think they get the opportunity. I think it's for rarefied air where you can go and essentially it's your time to cut this promo. I've only seen it for a few people. Charlotte, Ronda, Natty, couple other people who are just kind of in a different, air. Sasha, a lot of Bailey, to be able to cut that and control that crowd and the storyline and etc. And you see the unraveling of Becky Lynch, man. They're heating this thing up. They're heating this thing up on a different level.
Okay, the elephant in the room here. Okay, does this change your prediction? Because people think that because Bianca got the upper hand, that this means anything.
No.
No, it doesn't, right? Like, here's the
era, baby. Come on.
Yeah, here's my thing. Like, Bianca has been terrorized by her for almost a month, and longer. Was she to not get the upper hand and get her braid cut so y'all could be mad that she looked stupid? That's one thing about Bianca. She's never made to look stupid as a babyface. You know what I mean? No. So, like, for her to get the upper hand and then
talk about that a little bit later.
What? Who?
No, we talk about it a little bit later. We
do. But, like, she's never whatever adversity she had. Like, she even says it. Like, the tricks don't work anymore. And that's like what like Becky's got to come up with a new trick now. So, like, I love that segment for that. Brock, let me tell you, man, underrated promo guy.
He was good, man. He was good. I felt it in my. I'm not saying like it's soul music, but I felt it in my soul.
It felt like he was like having a conversation, and I don't think many people could have not got rattled by those what chants. And he said, you know what, if you want to do that, I'll do it like Stone Cold. And he did it like Stone Cold.
He was like, bring him on. Stone Cold never beat me though.
and they stopped doing the what chants after that because they said, oh damn, he's right. So, like, I thought that was like, it was cool that he said, no, keep doing it, because he was thinking, it was almost like he was like a battle rapper, and he was coming up with something on the fly, like a rebuttal off the top of the head, and that was his rebuttal. Like, it was masterclass. Like, if you want to talk about this guy that doesn't love the business, he doesn't love what he's doing. No one who doesn't love what he's doing or isn't good at what they're doing would have done that.
Something about that cowboy hat and that flannel that just turned this man into a different nigga, to be honest with you.
Best baby face in the company. I'm putting it out there right now. He's the best baby face, bro. Like,
I want to hug Brock Lesnar, which is different.
Like, he's he's one of the best baby faces. Really good promo there. The titles are gonna have a baby. What do you think this title's gonna look like? Oh, I guess we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit later.
Roman comes out with the lore, #lore, about the
squad up.
Bro, all red. I said, boy, you would not go to Compton wearing that, boy. I tell you that much, boy. Y'all was bleeding out there.
We not pulling up to WrestleMania Hollywood?
No, not like that. No, absolutely not. He had the lore talking about, and I think when we talk about,
we'll talk about that at the end. We talk about it at the end.
It was a good promo that brought up some of the personal stuff, and you finally see from Roman himself. He finally admits this has been personal the whole time. So that was great.
Well, let's talk about the elephant in the room. Not really the elephant in the room, but there has been definitely some reports that similar. I mean, what you've said for the last number of weeks and what you've at least hoped for, that Stone Cold Steve Austin, Kevin Owens may close Saturday night.
Yeah. Nothing's bigger than this. Nothing is bigger than this. KO even says it on Raw. Great promo from him on Raw this week. He says a WrestleMania main event edition of the KO show. And I said, "Oh, so they're listen. You can get mad if you want. Okay, you can get mad at you if you want. This is a bigger deal. The only bigger deal than this thing happening is Brock and Roman, because it's been pushed to be that way. Absolutely. But this is the biggest thing on the show. This is why, and we'll talk about the undercard. This is why the undercard can't be that strong, because they gotta drive this home. In my opinion, they gotta drive this part home.
Absolutely,
it's a big deal, and we're gonna talk about Stone Cold and KO with Trevor Trout a little bit later in the show. But yeah, so we're gonna go to the undercard first here.
Absolutely, yeah. Let's kick it off with the undercard with our boys with the A Show Network.
Yes, sir. We got Chann, we got Deon, we got Cyrus, we got Quan, myself, Meelz. Am I missing anybody? I think that was Armon. We got Armon. So when we get back, we're gonna talk about the undercard, and then we'll be right back.
The size of the Almighty. Oh! Just one-handing him.
Here comes Lashley. No impact whatsoever on Omos.
I want this, huh? I know it's cities. You don't want this one, boy. Get you out. You don't want this one? Huh? Almighty who? Oh! The hell you talking about? You don't want this? Huh? You don't want this? Come on.
All right, we are back officially with the WrestleMania prediction party, and trust me, we have a packed room right now because we have damn near everyone on the A Show Network at this point. I feel really good about this, and everyone's looking fresh and everyone's looking dapper. I have my camera off, but it's fine. I don't really care. But we're here nonetheless to break down the undercard of WrestleMania. Justin, this undercard is looking sad as hell.
You think so? What is the undercard? Hold on.
Undercard, I mean, all right, so the undercard is, you know what? The undercard is, aren't you happy to still have a job? That is what this undercard is screaming right now.
What Mania has a good undercard, though?
I mean, well, I'm comparing this to last year, where we had a rousing time last year, talking about Seth and Cesaro, talking about Big E and Apollo, talking about, I forgot what else happened, but I'm sure it was other things. Yeah. We had a great time, and you know what? A lot of people were let go, and a lot of people aren't on this card. But you know what?
They stretching the undercard out to like 3 days, and NXT is one of them undercards. So like, that's what I'm counting it as.
Yeah, sure. You know what? We can count NXT. This is Dolph Ziggler got to wrestle somewhere.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, we are absolutely here. I want to go through everyone here while we have them. Listen, as I introduce everyone give your take about this WrestleMania card or WrestleMania weekend or something WrestleMania related. As I introduce you, I'm going to start first with the War Report. Representing the War Report, I got Quan in the building. What is up, bro?
What's going on, guys? What's up? As for WrestleMania, I'm excited. This is my favorite time of the year. I have no complaints. The card, it is what it is, but I'm going to enjoy myself all weekend. So that's all that really matters.
Look at you, the optimist in all of this situation.
You feel me?
And on the other side of the coin, we here have Cyrus in the building representing the War Report. Cyrus, what is up, man?
I'm very happy to be here. And it's the undercard of this is very mediocre, but I'm going to be in the building, so it doesn't really matter.
Oh, this is true. I mean,
my thing for everybody saying it on this call, I don't give a fuck. I'm hijacking this shit. For everybody on this fucking call is about to say it's about to be this, about to be that. That shit's gonna go up off entrances alone. Like you mean? All right, I'm gonna get into it. We're gonna get into it.
Then the bell gonna ring.
Yeah,
but these aren't bad wrestlers. Like I'm looking at it right now. These aren't niggas that's trash. It's not Luther.
All right. I still have AEW Dark playing in the background. Relax. Next up, we have representing the rewriters room, and trust me, if there was one card that we could rewrite, it's this undercard right here.
I'm hanging up.
I'm gonna start off with Armon. Armon, what is up, bro?
My brothers, how y'all doing? Yeah, I'm not gonna complain. It's not my favorite undercard. I would say the only thing that would make it better for me is Ollie J.
Ollie J. You might catch her in NXT. That might be might be up on the War Report for that one.
The only undercard she on is Mr. Miami, Dr. Miami's goddamn waiting room. That's the only undercard she's on.
Jesus Christ. And then of course we have another one of the writers room, Channing. Channing, what is up, bro?
I, for one, am excited about this undercard. I think we finally get to see the actual WrestleMania streak, the real streak of WWE, which is the end of days. It's never been kicked out of. It's never been broken up. I just feel like men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
Wow, the mid card hero right here, Chann.
I'm reclaiming our time. We are reclaiming with 2 Day Mania. We're reclaiming our time.
I'm already frustrated.
And we have rounding out the group, social media manager of the A Show. We're here. He has the takes on takes. You drop it. Deon, what is up, bro?
Listen, man. Team Lipo gang's in the motherfucking building, bro. If y'all ain't know now, bro. I'm already in Dallas as we speak. And for my take on WrestleMania about this undercard, I'm a bad Justin up because I'm gonna let y'all hear this. If y'all think this undercard is bad, I need y'all to go back to WrestleMania 25. I was there live in Houston, Texas, and they had Santina Morella win the Battle Royal. I want you to go to the year after that, WrestleMania 26. I want you to go look at that undercard. Mm-hmm. Then I want you to go look at the WrestleMania 27 undercard. Then I want y'all to go to the WrestleMania 29 undercard. You remember Fandango, Chris Jericho?
Like no cap. 30 had a terrible undercard too.
I'm sorry. I've hired
WrestleMania 22 undercard.
Like what is this narrative right now? I'm just wondering what this narrative is.
What are we arguing about? It's not the best undercard. I've seen better on WrestleMania Backlash. Come on.
Which one?
But we're talking about. Listen, I just gave you 5-6 WrestleManias that had way worse undercards than this undercard. And I'm not being biased because it's in Texas. I'm just stating facts. You had Santino Morella win the Women's Battle Royal in WrestleMania 25. I was there live when I saw that. And even I thought that was wrong back then.
But also hold on. Also, like we're reviewing this as a whole. Like these matches aren't all going to be on the same show. Like they're from 2 days. So like we're just talking about all of the matches. There's like that goes to show that there's a lot more big matches than there are undercard matches this year. To be honest with you.
Absolutely. But listen, we're here to represent the undercard. So we're going to represent the undercard right here. The first match. All right. So, of course, similar to what they did last year, they split up WrestleMania. If you paid for your 4-day tickets, first of all, shout out to you. You're a trooper and you have a lot of money. If you paid for attending Friday Night SmackDown, Hall of Fame, WrestleMania Day 1, WrestleMania Day 2, and Monday Night Raw, and somehow if you end up at NXT for whatever reason, you have superpowers or something along those lines, because I don't know how the hell you end up in so many places at once. Nonetheless, we have WrestleMania SmackDown kicking things off. We got this match. Last week, this match was, I guess, presented after they had Ricochet lose twice for whatever reason, just to set up this match. Nonetheless, we have Intercontinental Championship on the line. Ricochet versus Humberto Carrillo versus Angel Garza. Does anyone have any thoughts about this match? Just overarching thoughts before we get to the prediction itself. Any thoughts? Is this gonna bang? Is this a Sunday Night Heat exclusive?
Why all of a sudden are Humberto and Angel fighting each other? Like that's the only thing that I'm questioning. I'm like, so they're gonna start fighting each other and then team up afterwards? That doesn't make any fucking sense.
Has there been another triple threat match similar to this in the past?
Miz and Morrison used to do it all the time.
Oh yeah,
I would say Randy, Ted DiBiase, and Cody Rhodes. That was kind of similar to this match.
Ooh, you're right. You're right. And then also they had remember DX, Shawn Michaels, Triple H versus John Cena at that Survivor Series. So
and then Chris Jericho and Big Show versus Undertaker at the same show when they're Jericho show. Yeah.
Also, keep in mind this is Angel Garza's technically second WrestleMania match. So just he did wrestle at WrestleMania 36
in the PC,
him and Austin Theory replacing, I believe, Andrade.
Yeah,
the Street Profits. So just keep an eye on that.
Hey man,
WrestleMania SmackDown.
If the PC counts in WrestleMania, there's a WrestleMania every Tuesday.
That's all right. This like rampant negativity in this chat. Like, what is going on with y'all today? Like,
it's okay.
Nah, I ain't negative. We positive over here.
Like, damn. But as far as the match, you gotta get rid. Like, they're very light on everyone right now. So I get why they're doing this. Like, they literally have no one. Like, they don't have no one to face Ricochet right now because Sami Zayn is in another program. But this is another match where it's like they stack the odds against Ricochet. He needs a really good definitive win for this title. So I think he'll definitely win. But I mean, it looks like him and Xavier are angling to have a feud. And if we know Xavier and the New Day, like we know them, they always get what they want. So I mean, it looks like that's what's going to happen.
Also, I think they'll definitely, just based off the three guys in the match, there'll be at least like one really cool spot. Whether Humberto does it, Ricochet does it, whoever, I feel like they're going to do something cool, like just between the three of them. So I think that is just something to look forward to in general.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, them boys going to work. They're going to work. This match, it should be good. I just didn't like how we got here. I don't like having Ricochet lose twice in one night, even if it was by, shenanigans or whatever. I don't think it was a good look. Hopefully he had a really standout performance on Friday. But yeah, the match would be fine. I'm sure the match would be good. I'm not, but we'll see what happens.
It's that 50-50 shit that I just absolutely hate that they do, because it's like, well, it's gonna be okay because it's gonna be both of them. It's like, no, it's you made them look stupid on Friday. It doesn't make any sense.
I feel like 50-50 doesn't even. If you lose twice, is it still 50?
He lost to each one of them. He lost to each one of them, not as a group. He lost to each one of them. So it's like, oh, he'll pin one, and I'm guessing next SmackDown he'll fucking pin another one, and then they'll lead him out to Xavier after that.
To your point, Ricochet does get like the butt end of a lot of that. Like Ricochet will take like a month's worth of L's just randomly. He just won't win all of March. Like it happens to Ricochet often.
Moment right here.
Whenever he says "homeboy," come here, homeboy, they give him another month.
All right.
Stop saying homeboy.
All right. All right. Who do we think is winning this match?
Ricochet.
King Ricochet for sure.
Yeah, Ricochet, but he needs to stop doing the Nene and the Dougie at the same time. That was
I was
gross.
gonna say Ricochet is going to Nene and Dougie his way to victory.
That shit was disgusting.
Yeah. Worse than the Gabby Douglas.
Oh yeah.
What did Gabby do to anybody?
Good Lord. All right. Well, listen. Ricochet, I think it's resounding across the board that Ricochet is going to pick up the win in this one. Retain their Intercontinental Championship. Hopefully move on to greener pastures or someone a lot more entertaining. Also, on this WrestleMania SmackDown card, we have the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. A damn shame that this has made its way to SmackDown. I don't even think Andre the Giant was ever wrestling on SmackDown. But
He was on the greener pastures.
SmackDown was after his time, but nonetheless, we got the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I want to list the participants in here so far that was on this graphic, who may or may not. I mean, they may not end up on this card anymore. So I'm gonna go from the top right. We got Shelton Benjamin, Cedric Alexander, Akira Tozawa, Drew Gulak, Reggie, Commander Aziz, Eric, Ivar, Madcap Moss, my man's name, who is escaping right now. Mansoor. Yo, we haven't seen Mansoor in forever.
He was attached to Ali. Like, that's why. Like, he was attached to Ali for so long. Now they didn't have anything for him when Ali wouldn't show back up.
That's a damn shame. R-Truth. Shanky. There you go, Shanky. Apollo Crews,
the hit row killer, Shanky,
Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Bobby Roode, and Jinder Mahal. It's a you know what we got here. I mean, who the top contenders going into this? I mean,
we know who Chann picking. Come on.
Okay. I see what you did there, and you're right. I do want Jinder to win.
How did Jinder get in this?
He was at the PC that day. They said, "You want to wrestle?" He said, "Yeah, sure."
Oh, okay.
I think it'll be Apollo though. In all seriousness, I feel like the Finn Damian thing, I feel like will spin off into its own match, and I think Apollo will get like his second WrestleMania look again, and I think he'll win this.
All right, let's go. All right, Deon, who do you think is going to pick up the win in this one?
You know, last year I said that the Battle Royal was a bunch of caterers, where people were at catering. My apologies, but this year is looking a little good. I think, man, I guess give it to Finn. Give him. I guess I don't know. Like Finn looks like the strongest person in the match. I know he might be eliminated by Damian Priest, but I don't know if he's gonna get a WrestleMania match anytime soon. So just give it to Finn. Who cares?
Armon, who we got?
I'm gonna go Reginald or Akira Tozawa.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you good? Are you good?
bro. Hey, last year Meelz picked Jey Uso. Like that, they do some funny shit. They do some weird shit. I think Finn and Damian is too obvious. I feel like they're gonna go with an entertaining pick this year. So Reggie or Akira Tozawa.
Run, baby. He was on a run of his life.
And Reggie and Akira Tozawa have been having, they've been doing their thing, I guess.
Let me see where
I got kissing former tag team partners.
Yeah, so what?
Yeah.
So what?
Yeah.
They not catering.
Quan, did you hear who's going to be in this match? And if so, do you have a winner of any sort?
Let's go Shanky. I don't have a reason.
What the hell?
What is wrong? Does this match even matter? Like, honestly,
I mean, who cares?
I don't
like that's sensible.
I mean, he's the biggest guy. The biggest guy has the best chance of winning. That's how Rumbles work.
Really?
Isn't it?
Says when? Then why has Big Show not won a Royal Rumble?
That's a whole other podcast about why Big Show hasn't done a lot of stuff based on being the largest person in WWE. That's its own series. No, that's a X8 Diaries in itself.
Cyrus, who you got winning this Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal?
I'm just trying to find the graphic to know who's even on this.
I'll pull it up for you.
Tentative answer before I seen the graphic, I would say Finn, but till I see the graphic, I really don't know. But it seems like it's a bunch of losers on here.
I mean, where's
big ass Omos at? Where's Omos?
I'm gonna go Mad Cat Moss.
He's probably getting a match on Raw.
Bobby Lashley.
To be clear, we're recording this before Raw, so like we don't know yet, but he's probably getting a match before.
I'm gonna add that to this damn card right now. Let's spice something up. Who did you have, Cyrus?
Mad Cat Moss.
Okay, all right, fair enough. J5, who you got?
It doesn't matter. Like Damian Priest, I don't know. I really don't know. Like I have no clue what they're even. Because the thing is, after Friday, this will be forgotten. So,
absolutely, I'm gonna go with Apollo Crews for no particular reason. I feel like he's due for a win, just for no reason.
Can I give like a deep cut pick?
Ooh, all right.
I feel like it's very like becoming a Von Wagner to just show up and win this with Robert Stone.
Can somebody boot Chann?
Yo, this is easy. Yo,
Wagner.
I have to deal with this every 2 weeks. You one of them. He's insane.
Von Wagner is definitely. That is like plus 4,000.
He made it, but if it hits, what a day! What a day!
Get him off this chat.
All right, let's go to actual WrestleMania itself. WrestleMania SmackDown will be on Friday, Fox. You can catch that, and then you can catch a Hall of Fame where you can have inductions by Undertaker, Sharmell, the Steiner brothers. Who else did I missing?
Shad.
Big Shad. Shout out to Shad. R.I.P. Shad. I feel like I'm missing someone else, but Vader.
Big Vader.
So you can watch that on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We got the undercard going for this. Let's start off with the hottest program, the program that's been going on the longest out of anyone on this undercard thus far, and that is Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin.
They got my nigga Drew
in hell.
He is
in the projects.
He is
with the man who retired Kurt Angle. That's the projects. That's what we're calling that.
Yes.
Yo, leave. Wow. Can't leave, bro. Leave, bro.
Baron Corbin was dressing like a waiter at Applebee's while he was fighting Kurt Angle. Come on, man. Stop playing around.
And beat him.
And now he looks like he's on the set of the new Adam Sandler movie. And he has big time matches against Drew McIntyre. It is very clear that they have told Drew, just 1 second, buddy, we got you for the last 7 months. Then Jeff Hardy got fired, and then the Brock and Roman thing transpired. So I've been saying wait and see. I'm sure Drew's gonna get his win back here, but they got to give my man something after this. He has been on the back burner for way too long. He's one of the best baby faces. This is an affront to humanity at this point that this is even happening.
Disgusting.
Absolutely. No, I mean we're here. Happy Corbin has been undefeated since he's been happy. So that's definitely a statistic that they've been hyping up as well. Drew McIntyre, I guess he's taken a couple of L's, but nothing really substantial anyway. Nonetheless, they're on a collision course. As we pointed out in the beginning of this thing, end of days, undefeated, biggest WrestleMania streak that we got going. Who do we think? I mean, who do we think is going to take? Who do we think is going to take this one? Drew McIntyre or Happy Corbin at WrestleMania, the show of all shows?
Drew got to beat him in less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think Drew's going to win, and he's going to kick out at the end of days. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Drew's going to win, unfortunately. I do think he does suffer from, like, not even, like, this literal match, but just, like, someone, like, like, Edge is wrestling AJ Styles. I feel like that could have been a good spot for Drew, like, whatever Triple H type match there could have been, but I feel like with no one being back besides Edge, it was kind of tough for him, and now he's in this match.
Yeah, I mean, very much so true. You know what? I'm just gonna. If everyone said it, I'm pretty sure everyone picked Drew anyway. Nonetheless,
less than 5 minutes, please.
Listen, we can move on to the next match, which is one that Jay just kind of came up with as well. It's the Usos, who have been holding on to these SmackDown Tag Team Championships for the better part of the year, versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. So I have the question for you guys right now. I saw this on Twitter. This was a wild take, so maybe we can all answer this. Is Rick Boogs currently more over than Shinsuke Nakamura?
That is the craziest lie I've ever. It's impossible.
In real life, like not on the internet, yeah. In real life, I would say yes. I think on the internet, Shinsuke is way more over. But in like to kids and like people who just watch wrestling, I think Rick Boogs.
Bro, take Rick Boogs out. The song is still gonna be it. What you?
All right, Deon, relax. Here's my thing. Nakamura is perpetually over at all times.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter if Boogs gets a fucking hot shot. He could tomorrow not be hot. Shinsuke Nakamura will be hot forever. So yeah, right now he could be, but he'll never be more over than Shinsuke Nakamura. Come on, man. What are we doing here? What are we doing?
Absolutely. I mean, probably in life, yes. But I would say, right now it looks like, but nonetheless, they're a tag team. Nonetheless, they're surfing, they love each other, they have this great camaraderie with one another. They've made this work for however long they've made this work, despite me not really feeling Rick Boogs at all, and still not. But nonetheless, the Usos versus Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. Everyone, you know what? Let's go down the line again. Let's go, Quan. Who do you think is going to win this one?
I think they're going to give Shinsuke and Rick Boogs the win. I don't think the Usos need those tag belts. They're not really doing anything with them. Let's switch it up. And yeah, I think Boogs is pretty over. I think that whole entrance is really over. It kind of reminds me of like when they do the call and response, like the New Age Outlaw type deal. That's really over. So fuck it. Let's just give them the belts, man.
Armon, who you either got?
Yeah, Shinsuke and Boogs, man. The Usos' reign to me hasn't really been that good. They've been holding on to the titles way too long. There's no other opponents for them. I think Shinsuke and Boogs would be really exciting with the titles. So I'm gonna go with them.
Deon, who you got?
The entrance will be electric. Shinsuke and Boogs.
Justin, who you got?
I think again, like the Usos, they suffer from really a lack of competition. I thought the Viking Raiders thing was going to go longer than it did. It didn't end up happening, but yeah, I'd say that if you want to send the fans home happy and really just give the Usos some type of adversity, because it's just really weird that they win all the time now, I would give it to Nakamura and Boogs and call some people up, trade some people around, bro. Give the tag team some love, man, for sure.
Absolutely. Channing, who you got winning this one?
Just because everyone picked Shinsuke Nakamura, I think the Usos suffer from being a part of Roman stuff too much. Like they're more interesting as like his flunkies than like they're no one uses them as tag team champions anymore. And so like until that Roman stuff I think is finished up, they need to hand off the belts. But just because Romans are over, I think they're gonna keep them. They might drop them the very next week on like a random episode of SmackDown, but I think they're gonna win this match so that Roman and them could have like all the belts at once.
Cyrus, take us home. Who you got winning this one?
Let's go with Shinsuke and Rick Boogs. Kind of just like the opposite of what Chann said. Like, I don't think the Usos are really doing anything. So let's just get it all. And like, I don't even think them having the title even helps the Roman story at all. So just lose
Absolutely. All right. And I'm gonna pick the Usos. We can move on to the next match. This is a tag team match at WrestleMania. No stakes on the line, just for the power of friendship and
the fight.
And the fight. There you go. The power of friendship versus the power of fighting. We got King Woods and Kofi Kingston versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland with Butch. Man, I mean, we promoted this feud has, I guess, it's promoted itself in a more dangerous way than previously anticipated, but it's on WrestleMania anyway. I'm sure this was supposed to be. I would hope this was supposed to be a 6-man tag at some point in the future. Now it is no longer because Big E's neck is broken, completely broken. So now we have this tag team match on WrestleMania: New Day versus Sheamus and Ridge Holland. How about this? Everyone just let me know who's going to win. I'm not even going to go down the line. Who do you think is going to win?
Niggas.
The niggas. I'm rooting for everybody black except Bobby Lashley.
Whoa. Has to be the New Day here just to kind of get some comeuppance, especially if you want to keep Xavier strong for the IC title match that he's politicking for right now, which I really do think is going to happen, and I think it would be exciting if they did do that. I mean, I think Sheamus and Ridge, they would not be hurt from a loss here. I would really love to see Butch kind of get into some shit. You know what I'm saying? I really want to see them get, because like, here's my thing. I think we all can agree. I don't really want to see Ridge Holland in these types of positions. I think
if he gets hurt beforehand, just like jump by New Day backstage uncharacteristically, and Butch ends up in the match, I'm with it.
But shout out to really for real, fuck the match. Shout out to Pete Dunne, literally 2 weeks in, already on Mania. Like, shout out to him, man. Clap it up for him, because like at the end of the day, there was a bunch of niggas that did not even try. They wouldn't have even. They were too afraid that their name was gonna be different. And he said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna go through it, and I'm gonna change my shit. I already dressed like this anyway." And then went ahead and did it. Like, went ahead and went to Mania. So shout out to him, man. Fuck him, man.
It's like this anyway.
He said that in an interview. He said that's already that's already my steezo.
Old designer. Yes, we're going for the New Day. All right, next up. This one's the tag team championship match we've probably seen on Raw on various occasions. We've probably seen in various iterations, all types of stuff. You got RK Bro versus the Street Profits versus Alpha Academy, Raw Tag Team Championships, WrestleMania. This feud has been going on. First of all, we got to give a shout out to none other than Chad Gable for making it to this point. I think if there is a most improved player of 2022 thus far. I mean, he really been killing since the end of 2021, but when I'm talking about 2022, he's been really killing on the mic. I mean, he got it in the ring. He's been doing everything possible to make this thing work. He is standing next to Otis every Monday. I don't know how he does it, but he does it. He is here. The Street Profits feel like we want on the card, but we just got to fit them on the card.
I was like, what? No, they feel like they could either be turning or they could be putting the edge to their character, which I think they sorely need. I haven't like disliked this at all. I think RK Bro is one of the most over teams on that show. I think that Alpha Academy is one of the most hated teams on the show in a good way. And I think Street Profits are all there. Again, they're perpetually over. So it's like this was a no-brainer to me. I think if this match, we've been talking about these matches, like honestly, all these matches could be on SmackDown. This to me feels like an actual WrestleMania match because it's like it is the best of their undercard on Raw. Like they have been carrying the show without Brock for months already. Like they were getting main event angles, they were getting all types of segments on the show. It's like this is to me like where I see the argument for the undercard at, where I'm like, okay, it needed more matches like this because we actually care about all three of these teams in some way, shape, or form.
You know what I wish? I wish it was a ladder match. I think this would have been a perfect time to do a ladder match for these three teams. I know they do multi-man matches a lot, and I know Money in the Bank's coming up, but I think WrestleMania needed something like this for the undercard. Give us a triple ladder match for the tag belts. I would have loved that.
Riddle don't wear shoes though, so.
What?
That's his problem. No one told him to do that.
He was in a match last year. He was in a ladder match last year.
He's been in ladder matches. I just like to point out that he just doesn't wear shoes. But also shout out to Tucker and Jason Jordan. Could have been y'all. But glad I'm doing this for y'all.
Come on, man.
All right, hold on. It ain't Justin Jordan. It ain't Justin Jordan's fault. But Tucker is definitely Tucker's fault.
Yeah.
What? Tucker could have been here. Jason Jordan got hurt. He definitely could have been here. Don't tell me Jason Jordan could have been in a WrestleMania match. Jason Jordan definitely could have been there. Tucker, I'll give you.
Jordan got
Big on like they utilized me wrong. They could have utilized me better.
Fucking
We need
Jason
more
Jordan.
men.
Jason Jordan didn't even make the WrestleMania card, but he was tag team champion in 2017. Man, I don't know.
Damn, you ain't have to bring it up.
My man got a job, bro.
Listen,
Kurt Angle's son, bro. Don't talk about him like that.
All right, I'm going to go down the line. Armon, who do you got winning this match?
I got Street Profits winning, and I think Randy Orton RKO's Riddle after the match.
Whoa. Absolutely. Wow. Okay. All right. Deon, who do you got winning this one?
Wow, I actually didn't think of it. I was gonna pick RK Bro, but I think I'm still gonna pick it. But I like Armon's theory. I like his theory for sure. No pun intended. But yeah, and shout out to Gable too. He's been on a run. Like Meelz, you always tweet this. If you stay in the WWE long enough, your time will come. So shout out to Gable just because RK Bro is winning this.
Absolutely. Quan, who you got winning this one?
I kind of want to say I'm gonna go Alpha Academy. I think just because I want them to win, I would like them to have a long, meaningful reign. I think Gable deserves it. I think Gable and Otis. I think Otis has improved a lot too. I don't think he gets the credit for what he brought to the team as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go Alpha Academy, and I agree. I think at the end, I think Randy Orton might turn on Riddle just to finish it off.
Ooh, okay. Channing, who we got?
I think this is where they do like a pump fake turn with Randy. So I don't think he turns here. I think they win here, but I think this is where the seeds of their descent start. So I'm picking RK Bro, but I do think this is where it gets nippy, where it's like, oh, Randy might have snapped on him, and then he didn't. He pulled back.
Absolutely. With the fresh yawn, Cyrus, who you got winning this one?
I'm gonna go Street Profits.
Ooh, okay. All right. Justin, who you got?
RK Bro.
I'm gonna go RK Bro too.
RK Bro is this is the hottest non-Brock act they have as far as baby faces go. Randy is still him. You still need him with them titles, man.
Absolutely. All right. So I've added one more match to this undercard now that you guys brought this up. It is the hypothetical match of the evening because it has not been announced yet since we're doing this before Monday Night Raw, but it could be announced or it could not be. But nonetheless, you'll have a prediction nonetheless. we have no history between these two. We have no storyline. We have no nothing. We just, this comes as beyond just the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. This is the big black nigga memorial match. Almost versus Lashley. Could it happen on the card? All right, let's assume it's happening. How about this? Let's assume it's happening. Justin, if this doesn't happen, you can edit this out. Or leave it in. I don't care. But let's assume it's happening on card. Omos versus Lashley. Is this a match you want to see? And if so, who would you have winning this match? How about that?
I wish I could call Novak and just so he could just rant on this because he was hating this shit. But no, this doesn't need to happen, nigga. If Doudrop can't get on the show, like, and Ricochet can't get on the main show, no, this doesn't need to happen. What the fuck? Bobby can chill. He can rest. Almost. Can we just be honest here, y'all? Come on. It's over. It's over.
Armon, I think Armon said he was like Rick Carly with a fade or something.
Bro, it was Channing last year on our prediction show.
Okay,
you know what? Khali with a gold chain and a taper.
Okay. Here's my thing. Okay, we're not over, but it's he's not ready for this spot. And the thing is that when he gets beat, because he's gonna get beat, then what? He gonna be running for the 24/7. He gonna have Reggie on his damn shoulders. Like, damn.
I'd go for it.
I hate you so much, Channing. I really hate you.
I'm here to be entertained. Watching a small person jump off an exponentially larger person is always entertaining. It always is.
This nigga watched Robin Big when he was young.
I do, Big Black. R.I.P. my dog.
Rest in peace, Big Black.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my God! All right, Quan,
Match is dedicated to him.
Should this match happen, and if so, who wins? Quan.
I want Lashley on the card. I think he deserves it. It's just so unfortunate how he got taken out in Elimination Chamber. For Lashley, yeah, as long as Lashley wins.
He was injured though. He was legit injured. He wasn't.
I know that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying like he got taken out. I'm just saying he was injured, so he couldn't. It's unfortunate, not because of anything WWE did. He was just hurt. But yeah, I'm cool with it if Lashley wins. I don't want almost winning because then that kind of defeats everything you did with Lashley for the last year and a half. So yeah, if they do it, they got to make the right decision and have Lashley go over.
This thing gonna put him in the hurt lock.
Anyway, stepping stool. Like, how is he gonna get up there? Like, how does he even get up
off the turnbuckle? You gotta jump off the turnbuckle and just grab him and wrap it. Wrap around him.
I think in lieu of recent events, I'm really not apt to see two more black men fighting in front of a large crowd of people.
Oh God!
I got my one.
We got so far into the thing. We got so far.
I appreciate you for doing that.
But no, I do think though, in all seriousness, Omos would benefit from just being in the Hurt Business. Like, why would he not just join the Hurt Business? That way, MVP can do his talking. He doesn't have to like you said. It's like all of the Giants. Once they lose the first time, it's like, okay, well now what? So just kind of avoid that. Put him back in a tag team where he's, I think, better served, and put him with a good talker like MVP. I think that should be the end resolution of this conflict. So maybe they have a match and like, I don't know what happens, but I think the end needs to be they need to end up together, not like one of them is standing over the other in some type of like clean victory.
Wow. Okay. Look at that. Black unity in these times of hardship that we're currently facing. Armon, should this match happen? And
I do not care for this match. I think it'll be interesting seeing the Hurt Lock spot, but if I had to go with the winner in this Big Daddy V open challenge, I'd have to go Lashley.
Jesus Christ. Deon, should this match happen? And if so, who winning this?
This shouldn't happen, and if it does, we will see Bobby and Drew in matches that we don't care about. When last year they tore the house down, opening up WrestleMania last year, which is unfortunate. But yeah, to answer this question, I guess Bobby Lashley will win.
Absolutely. All right, Cyrus, should this match happen, and if so, why?
Absolutely not. I echo Justin's thoughts. Like, how the hell Dewdrop and Ricochet not on here, but this shit is. And we say that they have no prior history. I feel like somebody's just gonna send us a screenshot of them just standing in the ring with each other and be like, "But here." Come on, man. There was no road. There was no road that was paved for this. So this match doesn't really need to happen.
I feel like I hope that this segment. Well, Justin, did I get to you, or you already have your thoughts?
I already said.
I didn't even say who I wanted to win. No, but if I'm gonna go Lashley because Almost does suck. So
I'm gonna say this match does happen, and Lashley's gonna win. And I hope when Monday Night Raw happens, which we're taping this beforehand, this ages terribly. And I hope Almost throws Lashley like through a screen, or Bobby Lashley. They have this big fight, pull apart thing, or something along those lines. Someone walks up to them and smacks them, similar to recent current events, and that kicks off the match, or something along those lines. I really hope this begins in the most chaotic way possible.
You think that's how we're getting Brandy Rhodes? You think that she's just doing the smack?
Yo, Chann, bro.
All right, man. All right, enough is enough.
You gotta go.
You got too far.
Listen, man.
I thought I was gonna be wilding out. This man Channing.
Who said that? Who said that? Y'all think I'm a black? You're a black heart. I'm a black bitch. Who said that? Was it me?
I didn't say that, but I laughed when I saw it.
Hey, you're a black heart. I'm a black bitch.
Why would she say that to Shotzi?
That is so funny. All right, guys, listen. As you know, I have this on. Don't pay attention to it, but thank you guys for obviously coming through and joining us for the undercard, breaking down the undercard during our WrestleMania prediction party. Of course, you can listen to the War Report every Friday on Day Show Network. I'm sure you guys gonna have predictions for Stand and Deliver.
Oh yeah, we got them. We got predictions. We got grades. We're gonna have it all. So yeah, tap into the War Report. It's gonna be a fun episode, I think.
Yeah, predictions and grades. Those are gonna be our huge segments, and I don't know what the hell AEW plan on doing to compete with this weekend next. But
we're gonna get Andrade versus Darby Allin for anybody.
I'm sure there will be blood.
Boy, I'm about to. Just know now, I'm bending my knee, bro.
Cyrus gonna be packing, bro.
I'm kneeling, boy.
Watching that.
Oh my god! And then of course we have, the Rewriters Room, which will be back soon, man. You guys got more episodes cooking.
Absolutely. Y'all be patient. We got heat coming for y'all.
I mean, being honest, one of my craziest rewrites already came true with the NXT champion currently. So I mean,
oh my god!
Stop, yo!
Hey man,
let's end this.
I'm up.
Oh my god! So you can listen to that there, and of course you can follow us at the A Show RNC on Twitter, where Deon holds us down on the tweets, everything. You're gonna be live at WrestleMania. I mean,
I'm gonna be there. So I will not be doing the spaces. I probably will not be active. But hey, if you see me, man, come holler. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna be in deep. RNC A Show, we're gonna be in deep. You might catch us at Ruby's Chicken in Oak Cliff. You feel me?
If you see someone scrapping at WrestleMania and you're close, take a picture, throw it up on the Twitter, just for the chaos.
Hey man, we'll see what's up. But yeah,
Absolutely.
we're gonna be in there.
Absolutely. So thank you guys, and of course, we'll be back with more A Show after this.
All right, we are back. That was the undercard section of the show.
Absolutely.
Real good stuff there. Glad that we finally got Omos and Bobby Lashley confirmed. We'd have looked real stupid.
I mean, listen, we talked about it, so.
All right, so we're juggling this show around. Where are we going to next? Where are we going next, Meelz? Are we going to the attraction matches?
We should go to the attraction matches because we have this man Trevor Trout on the line. He is incredibly unnaturally. I think we had a good time recording this, just in general.
Well, we recorded with Trev so early because this guy's got such a crazy fucking schedule, and I think that it becomes tough to get somebody that important on the show at any given time. Before let me cue him up really quick So we're doing attraction matches. That would be our attraction matches. What are we saying that they are this year? They're the
featuring celebrities, part-timers, everything, like realistically featuring celebrities and people who may or may not wrestle full-time or actively.
Okay, so that's what we're saying. We'll be right back after this segment's over with on the A Show.
Get up out of your seats and help me welcome Lucha Logan!
Oh, this is unbelievable! How did we get Lucha Logan?
Please tell me this isn't happening.
He has Rey Mysterio's mask on his face. That's incredible to see.
Well, that's normally where you would wear it, but nonetheless, I mean, Lucha Logan and Nacho Libre.
I called my little brother down in Mexico City, and he told me that all of Mexico is...
All right, we are officially back at the WrestleMania prediction party. We're here. We got more things coming down the pipeline. Of course, it couldn't be WrestleMania without all these attractions, without these celebrities, without all these appearances. And what a better person to talk about it with. Some guy, we haven't had him on together, which is interesting.
Ever.
Right. But Justin, I mean, he's co-hosted the show when I've been out, so I feel good about that, and I love that show. We have none other than Trevor Trout himself back on the A Show. What is up, my guy?
It's time. You know, I only show up when it's money time. You know, I'm always pulling up when it's money time. It's the road. There's nothing more special in sports than the road to WrestleMania, fellas. Nothing.
Let me ask you a question, brother. Let me ask you a question. It is a very hypothetical question. So, first of all, congratulations to you. You're about to graduate. You're about to graduate in a couple of weeks from college. I'm happy for you. Trust me, getting out of school, one of the best things that has ever happened to me. Let me ask you something. A couple months ago, WWE announced this NIL initiative thing. So I want to ask you a question. If WWE ever came to you and said, Trev, we want you to be a WWE superstar, what would you say?
Hey, bro, I'm not going to lie to you. My body's pretty cooked, bro. But I've been watching this product. Look. I've been watching this product for way too long. Like, anything they got Kevin Owens taking the bumps that he take, that means that check is generational, dog. Like, he already doing flips for these guys. Like, bro, I'm going to have to go ahead. I have to go ahead and get on this Peloton bike again and do yoga again. We're going to have to go ahead and take these bumps. This is going to have to happen, bro. Like, this is it. This is really it, dog.
Listen.
But matter of fact, hold on. But while we here, bro, there's a dude I know who played at UCF. He actually signed with WWE now. You know, Big Parker.
Parker Burnell.
Yeah, Parker Burnell. He a part of the E. He could have played in the NFL. So he must have knew how special them checks was.
Well, that's the thing. He's on NXT. Them checks ain't crazy special.
Yeah. But they will be, though.
Okay.
They will be, though.
They will be.
Division, bro. Yes.
It's a long-term investment in his future, but they absolutely will be in the future. And you know what? Shout out to that. So listen, if WWE ever says, listen, we need Trev on the screen, I'm not against it.
Put him in the commentary booth next to Nigel.
Hey, bro. Hey, bro, I'm not gonna hold you. The way they rebranded NXT, I could rock with that. I could fit in there.
I love it,
they got
bro.
People that look like me. I'm like, okay, bet.
They're suicides. They're not no drama school niggas.
No, bro, they got real colors on NXT now. They got colors on there.
Oh my god! All right. Well, listen, we need to get into these damn. Speaking of NXT, moving from NXT to WrestleMania, we got these attraction matches coming down the pipeline for WrestleMania. We got a couple of them here. Very, very enticing. Very, very interesting. To be honest with you, WWE is always known WrestleMania celebrities. They got to have the inclusion. I don't know if considering like, you know, people are very having these conversations about who's on the card, who's not on the card. Do you guys feel like we may have had I mean, we have 3 celebrity matches here, and we have a Stone Cold Steve Austin appearance. Do you guys feel like maybe a little bit too much, a little bit not enough? What's the temperature on this?
That stadium needs 100,000 people to fill it for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely fucking not. I think that when it comes to people saying, "Oh, my favorite guy's not on the card," but you got these other guys on the card. It's not like we said this for years. WrestleMania is not for the niggas on the internet. It is for the
This
people.
for the world, baby.
Exactly. It's
for the world.
Like you just said, it's not for the streets, it's for the earth. That's what Mania is.
Hey, bro. Look, I'm gonna use a great example. Like, it's like when y'all old folks, like y'all say, bro, I want Weekend Trilogy. Nah, bro, we not trying to get that.
Yeah,
we gonna bring the hits. This is what the world wants to hear.
Exactly.
We trying to hear Gasoline, bro. We just want to see Pat McAfee. There's more people who know who Pat McAfee is, goddamn, than the Miz. Let's be real here. We don't gotta lie.
Even bigger than that, more people know Pat McAfee is than Finn Balor. You know, like let's just be for real. It's not really for us. It's for the people that are actually spending money. Y'all be bragging on the internet about fucking stealing this. This is for the people that's actually spending.
Hey, bro, do you know what's gonna be so funny with somebody? I already know. I'm getting ready. Someone on Twitter gonna be like, "I can't believe they've resulted Austin Theory to this, to losing to Pat Mac." I'm like, bro, can you please shut the hell up, dog? Can you shut up, dog? Like real shit, bro.
Because you don't really care about Austin Theory. You're just trying to make.
You do not care, bro.
No, not at all. Not at all. Well, listen, you know what? I was going to start off with something different, but might as well start off with this. We got Pat McAfee, who is now, lead commentator for WWE on Friday Night SmackDown, versus Austin Theory, who I guess is Vince McMahon's chosen one from over the last number of months and stuff like that. This is something we could have very well saw in NXT, maybe like a year ago, 18 months ago, something along those lines, and now it's happening at WrestleMania. People originally thought it was going to be Pat McAfee versus Vince McMahon. We debunked those.
They are stupid forever thinking that was going to happen.
Stupid.
We
debunked
like,
these
those.
Are not smart people, but they telling me, look, you know what I'm saying? These are not smart people. They want to tell me about the matches that should happen at the biggest pay-per-view in all of professional wrestling.
They want Vince to come out there, walk down that ramp. Let's just be clear. I know he could do anything. They want him to walk down that ramp, get his ass whipped, then walk right back down that ramp. Come on now.
Yeah. What? What though?
They're not thinking clearly. They're not thinking clearly. Like this is clearly like it's a rub for Austin Theory, but an even bigger rub in a football city, a football town. Have Pat McAfee there, whether you want him to get his ass whipped or not. The key is to show them how much faith they got in this guy. This is a guy how much money he get from fucking the podcast shit. What was that deal he signed? It was like
multi-million, bro. That's like the side bread, dog. We ain't talking about the other bread. This is like fun.
Like he is legitimately one of the people who biggest podcast probably next to Joe Rogan. That's almost like carting Joe Rogan out there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love to see Joe Rogan get shot on by anybody in WWE. like, this is legitimately going to be good. And the thing is that I don't feel like we've seen like the top of what Pat McAfee can do in the ring. And I think he's with someone that's young and someone that can take those bumps and someone who like is going to do a really good job with him.
Hey, on top of that, let's be real. He's in there with somebody who, if we get hurt, we don't really care if we get hurt. So,
good Lord. Listen, Pat McAfee versus Austin Theory. I'm expecting to be, surprised at least some points in this match. I mean, I think they both young guys. They both want to kind of like show up and show out at WrestleMania. This is going to be Pat's first WrestleMania. Like, this is not even like his first WrestleMania commentating. For his first WrestleMania, he's wrestling. Like, this is insane. And Austin Theory, this is his first WrestleMania. He's come a long way. Who would have thought? Huh? Right.
He was in the PC WrestleMania. Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was in that PC WrestleMania. Damn. All right, I was about to say that don't count, but
it was a weird. It counts. Meelz.
It absolutely.
Bro,
counts,
that's
you know
crazy, bro. Hold on, bro. That was a fire WrestleMania, the PC WrestleMania, bro.
It's just weird. To watch back. It's just weird to watch back now.
I cannot watch it back. I can't watch it back at all. I haven't even gone back. Listening to Charlotte and Rhea screaming in an empty warehouse, I can't do it.
Bro, we got special moments from that time, but we got the quote unquote greatest wrestling match ever, dog. We got Kevin Owens just falling off shit for no reason, giving us a great match. Like, come on, man.
Well,
cherish those moments.
Well, listen now. So this isn't Austin Theory's first time at the rodeo, apparently, but he's here nonetheless for the second time. Who do we think is coming out the victor in this match? Pat McAfee or Austin Theory?
Pat, bro. Pat's winning, bro. Like this is the stage. This is the stage. Pat is winning. You know this.
Yeah, it's got to be Pat. It feels like Austin is their new project. Above all else, they always do this every so many years. They have like a pet project. Who knows where he's going to be in October as far as Austin goes? But like, this is as big a rub as you're going to get. I mean, this is the Umaga and Bobby Lashley in the big billionaire match slot. Like, this is like the Vince proving ground match where it's like, okay, kids, show me what you can do. We've had you beat Finn. We've had you beat KO. We've had you beat a lot of people that technically you should not be fucking beating at this stage of your career. But
right.
we see a lot in you. So I was skeptical at first, but the thing is that like the one thing that's good about the show he's on is that there's so much other stuff going on that like I can forgive whatever they're trying to try and just wait and see what's going to happen here. But I think the big key is like they're going to break some tables. They're going to do some crazy shit. And it's like, where are they going to slot it at? Because they're going to do some wild stuff in this match.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm the lone person on this island. I actually think Austin Theory is going to win.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, I think some bullshit's going to happen. He's going to win. Something of the rather. And then Pat McAfee, I mean, it's not like he need to get heat back. He can just go back on commentary and shit on him for the next 7 to 8 months. Yeah. So I'm on the lone island with Austin Theory. Let's go to the next match, which is Miz and Logan Paul versus Rey Mysterio and Dominic. Tag
Dom
team
has to show me. Dom has to show me. I'm sick and tired. I'm sick and tired, bro.
Is it safe to say that by I don't know if it's safe to say, but if it's safe to say that he may be the least talented person in this match.
Miz, Reggie, he stinks. I hate watching this guy perform, bro.
Listen, man. There's a video. I don't know if you've seen it yet, Trev. You can check it out after we get off late. There's a video of Miz training Logan Paul with Shane Helms and MSK. He hits a frog splash, and I swear to you, it is a better frog splash.
It is crisp, and it is a better homage to Eddie Guerrero for whatever reason.
Hey, bro, we was gonna do this like y'all could have, bro. They could have called Bad Bunny. We could have got Bad Bunny. And Rey Mysterio versus the Miz and Logan Paul, bro. That's what this should be right here. I should not be, bro. His son should be in there watching from the back. Like, go, Pop. Hell yeah, Pop. Because this guy right here, bro, like, yo, he really is bad. Like, how about this? Look, I'm not, look, now I'm going to get off it. You know how, like, when you first start, like, remember you had Creative Superstar on SmackDown versus Raw 2008?
Yeah, of course.
And then, like, you'd have like the basic like generic luchador moves and shit, just like the base level shit. Of course, all defaulted.
That's scissors, baby.
Yeah, that's bro. That's literally Dom. Like that's literally him. This is literally him. Like this is
arm drag 4, baby.
Arm drag 4. Hey, bro, running DDT.
Running. Like it's really crazy that it's like, okay, Logan Paul, punchable face, right? Logan Paul could be a really good heel if he wants to do this shit. And he said on TMZ, I really want to do this. I like it. And you see him make the comment on this video. You got to check this video out if you haven't seen it. where he's like, yo, I caught on to this so fast. And it's like, I fell in love with boxing just researching it. And he fell in love with it. And he said, I'm getting that feeling with wrestling. If he wants to take it seriously and really do this shit, WWE has another celebrity that they can bring back with Bad Bunny every single year, get the same amount of respect and hype because Logan Paul brings money.
Oh, and watch this. Oh, wrestling's cooked. They're not building up a young. Shut up. You're gonna watch. Everybody gonna watch. This is the E. Entertainment.
It really is, and it's not like it's not like this is taking away, from the skilled matches that you're gonna have. I mean, you're still gonna have AJ and Edge on this match, or on this.
Exactly. We're going to give you. Watch this. We're going to give you some of like the most famous celebrities and like all this whole entertainment shit. Oh, by the way, you gonna get Big Ron. We're gonna give you We're gonna give you some of the best wrestlers in the world on the back end. On the back end, bro.
Mm-hmm.
On the back end.
Listen, bro. Listen. I've seen
nobody else is doing this.
Everything that I've seen thus far from this match. I mean, granted, I can't speak for the Rey Mysterio and Dominic side because Rey Mysterio is a legend. He's doing his own thing, covered a video game. Dominic is Dominic, whatever it is. The Miz and Logan Paul thing. I think Logan Paul is probably going to show everybody. I think he really does want to show up Bad Bunny in a way. Like the Bad Bunny thing last year was such a headline and he impressed people so much. I think he low key, because even the comments, he was like, listen, I don't have to train as long as Bad Bunny to get good at this shit because I was a former amateur wrestler. I'm athletic. I'm all this other stuff like that. I legitimately think like he wants to impress in this match. He's going to try to take all the moves. He's going to try to do all the moves. He's going to try to do everything.
If this nigga busts out a Canadian Destroyer, I'm turning it. I'm walking out.
Oh, it's happening though, right? The Maverick Destroyer, whatever his gimmick is.
I'm walking the fuck out, bro. I'm not fucking with it. But I mean, who do you think is gonna win this? I think like honestly, Ray's been getting the shit end of the stick. I think I mean it's best for. I think it's gonna happen. Dom pins Logan.
Good Lord, no. I think. Nah, I feel like Miz and Logan Paul end up winning this. I feel like Logan Paul. Nah, I don't think Rey Mysterio will take a pin to Logan Paul unless they were doing like a business in the future.
But you gotta remember, bro. This is the WWE 2K match too. So like this is the Miz's marquee match for being on the cover of the game.
Right.
Sponsoring the show.
Hey, bro, check this out. I was remember when the Miz started doing his WrestleMania rollout at Super Bowl Radio Row and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, bro. Like he's been pushing it, bro. He must have something big under his sleeve, dog. Because like obviously he does this every year for WrestleMania, but I have a different feel with this, bro. Because he has a guy that's next to him in this match that he's working with, who's really him. You know what I'm saying? Like they come from the same type of, reality show level internet bullshit. And then you got two guys that are crossing them. Obviously, you got one that's like a WWE Hall of Famer, the same as Miz is going to be. And they just got this rando dude named Dom. Like, that's what I'm saying, bro. Everything, the stars are aligning for everybody, bro. But Dom is the one spot, the one person in this match that don't belong here.
My man is the one blemish in this.
He's the
perfect...
one blemish on the legacy of this match.
Listen,
I'm gonna get off him though, man, because it sounds like I'm hating. So I gotta stop.
Who you think is gonna win, Trev?
Bro, Ray getting old, so I have to go with Ray and Don. Like they not putting this guy on national TV as many times as they are for him to lose in this WrestleMania match. Like, no.
Nah.
Like Logan Paul has other shit to do too. Like Ray and Dom are winning, bro. Like, and the way they gonna win not gonna make no fucking sense, bro. I can promise. Like, it's gonna be some real bullshit, dog. Like there's gonna be a lot of botches in this shit off the top rope. Like, it's gonna be nasty.
I'm gonna go with Logan Paul ending Dominic somehow, definitively. That's how I feel like it. That's how I'm going with. I'm going with Miz and Logan Paul in this match. BS my opinion on Logan Paul. Next match. Actually, Trev, let me ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch Jackass when it was originally on?
Yes.
Of course he did.
Of course.
Okay.
Of course. Are you serious?
Trev
Yeah.
is of the MTV generation. Of course he watched that shit.
Yes, bro.
Okay, I just had to, we old. He brought up the like weekend trilogy thing of us being old. I was like, damn, that's not that old, am I?
Man, bro. Hold on, time out. Wait, story time. I remember, bro, you come home on 4. You got TRL, you got the Jackass lineup, you got Daria later on, you got Crank Yankers. Come on, man.
Crank.
Come on, man.
You was hell when you was a kid, boy, watching some damn Crank Yankers.
Outside, baby.
Oh my God. All right. So we've got Johnny Knoxville versus Sami Zayn. Anything goes. This feud has been kind of like the digital one. This one has been taking place mostly on these internets, going back and forth. And it's been in the ring a little bit too, since Johnny Knoxville was part of the Royal Rumble during this entire thing. What have you guys thought? I think out of all the celebrity feuds, this one kind of has the highest ceiling, but I guess has been thrown in our face maybe the least out of a couple of these.
Bro, it's weird because, bro, look, the kids, there's kids really don't know who the hell this guy is, bro. Like,
yeah.
Like, they don't know, like, what can actually happen in this match. So it's kind of cool because we know the ceiling of the match, and they don't. So they're going to see this random old white dude come out there and really do some crazy shit. They'll be like, bro, who is this? So why is he not on Raw every week?
I mean, for real though, Trev, #1 movie in the country 2 months ago, or a month ago, rather. I think a lot of people know who this guy is. I think this is definitely something where, like, and plus it's like he's from Tennessee, bro. Like he's right close to where, his home base is. I think the key here is that, like, everyone says that this WrestleMania has no build, but I think this is like a multi-level build if you really care about stuff outside of your bubble. Like, Sammy's been on TMZ for weeks now with this Johnny Knoxville shit.
Yeah.
This is multi-level marketing where this guy, Sammy, could literally go to a red carpet and they'd be like, oh, it's that guy who had like the Andy Kaufman-esque feud with Johnny Knoxville, who had the #1 movie in the country. And it's like, go to the Logan Paul thing, that shit works. You go to, all of the stuff kind of works, where it's like they've been building the shit and putting money behind a lot of these, but no more than Johnny Knoxville renting a plane with Sami Zayn's phone number to extend the weeks where Knoxville be on the show and Sammy doing the work. It's like Sammy's doing the work. And people ask, like, oh man, and we're gonna talk about somebody else that people say this about. It's like, oh man, he's wasting his time here. He re-signed. I can't believe he re-signed. He re-signed because no other company can do this type of shit
with Sami Zayn.
Yeah, at all. So let's just be honest here. It would not hit the same with Mike Tyson showing up old as shit to your show, falling asleep and shit. It don't work. It's not the same, bro. Like, this is a different level.
You need to stop.
Hey, talk your shit, bro.
I'm just saying.
Talk your shit, bro.
Could it happen anywhere else but here?
It only happened here at the E.
It can only happen in the E. It can only happen in the E, to be honest with you. Like, people talk about how crazy Johnny Knoxville is. Sami Zayn got a couple of screws loose himself in terms of doing crazy shit.
Because we've been watching Sami Zayn since he was on public access television. That's how we used to cut on a KPLR 11 at 12 o'clock and go see Kevin Owens in no HD. So we know. So we win regardless.
We know what they're capable of. So I expect in this match where anything goes. First of all, I expect to see some appearances by people from this Jackass movie. Absolutely. I appear to maybe some vehicles, maybe some other stuff. I'm not sure if they're going to keep it all in the ring. They're going to go outside the ring. I'm not sure where it's going to go, but this one is going to be fun. I forgot which day this one is on, but
it is on Sunday, I believe.
It is on. If it's on Sunday, it's a good one for Sunday, to be honest with you, because it's gonna. on either, to be honest, on either day, it's looking pretty good. Like I'm looking forward to this match. It is on Sunday. Good for that. I'm looking forward to this match just from the fact it says anything goes. It's the only match with a stipulation on this show, so it's gonna do what it does. Who do we think is going to win? I'm going to go with Sami Zayn.
I'm gonna go with Knoxville. I think it's just funnier that Knoxville wins. It's just funnier.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right.
I'm gonna go with Knoxville, bro. Like, cause like Sami Zayn's doing the whole shtick that he's doing. It makes sense though that he just loses in a hilarious fashion.
Yeah,
like, he has to lose in a way where nobody cares that he lost, and this is exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah,
all right.
It just doesn't. To me,
I'm changing mine. You guys are absolutely right.
It doesn't make sense for Sami Zayn to win. Imagine this nigga going on a
winning streak off this shit. No, you're 100% right. That doesn't make any sense. I'm changing my pick. Johnny Knoxville.
I've been undefeated since I beat Johnny Knoxville.
Yeah.
I've been undefeated since I beat Johnny Knoxville.
I
have to fight him again next year with no movie.
Like, exactly. Like that don't sound right. Like Johnny has to win this because the TMZ article is going to look like this: Johnny Knoxville jumps off of scaffolding to defeat Sami Zayn at WrestleMania.
Jesus Christ.
Hey, Johnny Knoxville does a front flip off the Titantron to beat Sami Zayn at WrestleMania.
He doing something stupid. They're absolutely doing something stupid. And listen, they're going to have a WrestleMania moment, but speaking of a WrestleMania moment, we talked about this a little bit on our show last week, but now we can kind of talk about it, how we're going to. This isn't even like, because I don't even think this is going to be an actual match, so we don't even have to do predictions about it, but we can kind of just talk about it and think of how this is actually going to go. Stone Cold Steve Austin, the GOAT himself, is going to appear on the Kevin Owens show at WrestleMania. I don't know what to say, bro. I saw Stone Cold Steve Austin once in Madison Square Garden, and it was probably one of the. It felt like a bucket list moment because I thought I would never be able to see him at any point. But to see him live at WrestleMania is absolutely insane. What do we think is going on with this match? Kevin Owens, not even a match. Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold Steve Austin. What do we think is going to happen with this one?
Listen, man, I need a tight 5 from Stone Cold. I'm sorry, I don't give a fuck. I need a tight 5. Play the hits, bump a little bit, stunner, send us home happy.
Bro, I think Stone gonna need another legend to come out with him and just jump the shit out of Kevin Owens. like you gotta make it quick.
That's not how Steve Austin works, baby. Steve Austin don't share the stage, baby.
Oh hell no, he don't, bro. Hey, Steve Austin still got paid for 2002, and he was still getting generational pops. He said, "I'm not trying to work with these niggas. I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin." But what's gonna happen is he'll come out there, brother. They're gonna stare each other down for about 5 minutes.
You might tell a story. You might say something. Listen.
I think that, but before we even say before we even get really into it, like applause for Kevin Owens, bro, for really knowing where he fits. Because again, you're not who's the biggest person Kevin Owens is gonna stare at in AEW? Minoru Suzuki, nigga. Nobody gives a shit about that.
Hell no.
Give a fuck.
Hey, again, to go back to what we said, we watched Kevin Owens at 12 o'clock at night on public access television in the Ring of Honor. So he knows it gets no bigger than this. This is it.
Yeah. This is the thing is he don't need to get another title ever with this.
This is the WrestleMania. This was the moment that was written for him. This is the moment that was meant for him. This is the moment that was like, if he could probably plot out any point of his career, him having this face down, he's a made man from here on out. To be honest with you.
his career is not a success, bro. Like officially, like his career is a success.
Yeah,
pure success.
That's the utmost amount of trust. It's the utmost amount of star power for him to be in the same ring with. Are we in agreement that this is probably main eventing Saturday?
Look, I'm gonna say it this way, and like, don't overthink it because it's not on the same scale because it's level of star power that both those guys are. But remember how many people bitched when The Rock beat John Cena the first time at WrestleMania? Like, let's say Stone Cold go out there and whoop his ass, bro. Like, for Kevin Owens, where he's at in his life, it don't matter, bro. It really don't matter.
It really doesn't.
Like this is the bar. This is the bar, bro. Like you gonna hear like 10 people who don't use their IV, who don't use their real faces on Twitter say some shit like, "Oh man, bro, look at the WWE, bro. They're just out here pumping these old guys and can't." I'm like, bro, you're not trying to give Kevin Owens no undisputed championship. So shut the hell up.
Who's he going
to be? It's supposed to be.
It's the best spot for him because at the end of the day, Kevin Owens always seems kind of out of sorts because they never want to put the belt on him, but they always want him in prominent spots. So he's always doing weird shit, like just on a regular year. This is the best usage of him where he's not just doing a Sami Zayn match again. He's not facing someone who he's not going to beat, and it's not like him versus Brock or something like that. Like the best usage of him where he gets to talk, he gets to possibly face a legend and someone that trusts him enough that if he does the offense to them, they're not going to get hurt. So it's like I can't think of a better place for him on this show. I know it's not going to be like a match in a traditional sense, but it could be like there's no more question marks. Like we're gonna talk about another match later on. It's like, okay, question mark, where the fuck is this gonna take the company? You know what I'm saying? But like the question mark for this is like, what the fuck is Austin gonna do, and how healthy is he? Is the real question here.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I wanted to bring up, right? Like we talking about the Kevin Owens side of this thing. Stone Cold Steve Austin retired 19 years ago at WrestleMania, not on his own accord, but kind of on his own accord, and said, "I will never wrestle again." And then, of course, the bag showed up. It showed up probably in a pickup truck with with Nick Khan in the front.
Hey, bro.
Can we be clear here, though?
Hey, bro.
That truck.
Hey, bro. Stone Cold.
That truck
Stone Cold.
every year, bro.
Hey, Stone Cold gonna be walking down that long ass ramp, just giving away his free beer and shit. Get all the marketing bags in the world. Hey, y'all gotta go cop this shit, throwing it to kids and all that. After the WrestleMania, hey, after the W, he gonna crack by 8 of them bitches. They gonna say this match was sponsored by Rattlesnake.
Steve Austin IPA.
Steve Austin IPA.
Listen, man. Listen, he's coming out. I'm sure he's gonna. My thing with Stone Cold Steve Austin is it's never been the right moment, and it's never been probably the only moment. We talked about this also on our Patreon last week. Probably the only moment that was ever right was the Punk thing that was supposed to happen maybe about a decade and change, maybe a little bit less than about a decade ago. Never happened for whatever reason. This might have been, and we talked about this on our Patreon last week as well. If Punk comes back, chances are he might be in this spot. But as history goes, he wants to do his own thing, complain about Peacock and all this other stuff on the other network. That's fine. Stone Cold Steve Austin's coming out here. I know he's going to be in tip-top shape because he accepts nothing less. I know he's going to be in his bag. I know once that glass shatters, it's going to be in Dolby Atmos. It's going to be in.
I'm tossing my man.
I'm gonna be breathing different, dog. Hey, dog, you hit
it's over.
Oh my god, bro.
Pandemic over. Pandemic over when Austin come out, bro. I'm sorry.
Hey, Meelz. Hey, Meelz, I ain't gonna go too far into it. I'm gonna be behind the TV like this. Drink beer. Erase some hell.
Bruh. Stone Cold Steve Austin is different, man. It's just different. Listen,
I don't care. Like I said a couple weeks ago, I don't give a fuck about nothing else.
Stone Cold whip kick. It don't matter.
It does not matter. This is the biggest show. This is like I'm gonna be clear. Like, okay, Roman brought. That's a bit like. Listen, that's maybe 1B big moments because this is and we'll talk about it later. I think this is really like a changing of the guard. But like this shit is the biggest happening in wrestling of the year. You want to talk about Cena coming back last year? You want to talk about Punk coming back last year? This is the real shit. He has not been back in nearly 2 decades, nigga. This is the fuck the rest of that shit. He's going to come out. He's going to hit a stunner.
This is the E. Hey, bro. Stephen A. Hey, look. He would Stephen A. said, look, I'm done wrestling. All right, cool. But he said, hold on, y'all. I got something for y'all, though, fellas. I can't do it no more. But I got somebody back there working. I had to make a call. He made a call.
Mm-hmm.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Record profits, bro. Hey,
man.
Listen, I'm sorry to hit roll,
bro. The merch.
I'm sorry to all them niggas. I'm really sorry that like niggas had to get released. That's terrible. But like, listen, they had to sacrifice niggas for this because I'm pretty sure this nigga got the craziest bag for 5 minutes. For 5 minutes,
bro.
Absolutely.
Bro, dog. There's so many people he put out of work probably just for this one-time bag. One-time bag. Steve looked at them niggas like, "Hey, bro, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I ain't got nothing to do with that, bro."
Austin saying what Drake said, man. I'm wilding with your bread. I'm wilding with Jackson Riker's bread right now. That's what he's doing right now. He's wilding with Jackson Riker's bread right now.
Oh my god, man! Listen, I'm expecting only magic, only amazing shit. This entire thing that will be on WrestleMania Saturday. It should very well close the show. If Charlotte and Ronda definitely close the show, I'm sorry, but y'all got a tough act to follow because Stone Cold Steve Austin is just different.
Hey, bro. What Vince said? It's not personal. It's business.
It's business, man.
Vince said it's not personal. It's business.
And the thing is, we all win.
It just means more.
I know we predicting shit, but nah, we all win in this situation. We all win when Stone Cold comes back here. This is a big moment, man. Like we're wilding right now, but like I'm gonna be in the building. I feel like I'm gonna be able to hear the fucking or feel the ground.
Ground will shake. The ground will absolutely shake.
I'm gonna get chills, bro. It's over with. But yeah,
hey, bro. Vince really went on Pat's show and told these guys, "Hey, look, they just got to rest in piss. Like this is what it is."
He told Tony Khan go get him some big Bufords.
Hey, run to the store. Go give me some big Bufords.
Go give me some big Bufords.
Hey, what's crazy? What's so funny about Vince, bro? Is like he be on the digital shit with them guys. Don't be knowing none of their names. He be like, "It's all love, fellas. You been part of the family. Welcome to the E. Be cooked in 6 months, boy. We on AEW. Shit be crazy."
Oh my god. Well, listen. Thank you. First of all, thank you, Trevor, for joining us for this part of the WrestleMania prediction party, man.
Always, man. We always gonna kick it. It's always fun.
Absolutely, bro. You can follow him at Total Trout Move on Twitter. Once again, congratulations for the upcoming graduation, bro. You absolutely deserve it.
Yeah, man. Now it's time for me to go and get right, get the training for the PC, bro. It's time for me to go ahead and take care of the family. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. The next generation. The next generation of the business. We'll be back with more of this WrestleMania prediction party.
Trevor Trout, man. That guy
very elite, if I do say so myself.
The guy's something else. Of course you are listening to the A Show with myself and Meelz. This is the WrestleMania preview.
Absolutely.
Prediction show. Our biggest shows.
And listen, while you're here, while you've reached this far, make sure you tune in this week because we're also going to have the War Report with their predictions for Stand and Deliver that's coming this weekend. We haven't talked a lot about NXT, but they will talk a lot about NXT this week. But they have their own prediction show as well. Make sure you tune in to Stand and Deliver, NXT Stand and Deliver, Saturday before WrestleMania. Will you guys attempt to make it?
I don't know. It's so early, bro. And I don't know what we're doing on Friday. Because again, this is like my bachelor party too. So like, I don't know what they have planned on Friday. And I don't have like tickets either. So I don't know if they're even
doing. Yeah, just watching in the crib.
I think I might. Because the thing about it is it's at 12. We really want to start heading to the venue when that shit ends. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, you know.
A good lunch and some Stand and Deliver. All the parties who indulge in other recreational stuff can engage in recreational stuff at that time, and then by 3:00 everybody's ready to go, or 2:00 or wherever the fuck it starts.
Absolutely, no, for sure. So we are getting into the women on the show. We have a great guest, Mimi Chelles. Taught me a lot. I think we all taught each other something. Great guest. To me, this is one of my favorite segments. This is my favorite segment on the show this week. It's one of my favorite segments we've ever done. Huge. We're going to talk about, Charlotte and Ronda. We're going to talk about the tag team match. We're going to talk about why there are there aren't more women on the show. But most of all, we're going to talk about Bianca and Becky because that's our main event. You know what I mean? That is the main event that we're looking at. And of course, like we said earlier in the show, this is really where, all eyes are on this, for a lot of people. And we want to see something done right, and how could they have done it better? And we really talk about that, right, Meelz?
Absolutely. Listen, we get into it all, the complete arc of all these feuds, including where it started. It seemed like the 26 seconds that stopped the world, and now we're here at WrestleMania. So we're gonna get into that with Mimi Chelles up next on the A Show WrestleMania Prediction Party.
Faster.
Bianca Belair is not done yet.
Oh, another one locked and loaded. KOD number 2.
He's thinking about it. It's completely unnecessary. Unnecessary. Becky brought the scissors to the ring.
Becky didn't do it.
Fair play.
Becky wasn't really going to do it. Becky was playing mind games.
Bianca's going to finish what Becky Lynch tried to start.
No, please.
Bianca's not playing.
Bianca Belair is taking the hair off Becky. Oh, going after all of it.
And we are back for our WrestleMania prediction party, and we are here, and it is ladies' night at this point. And yeah, we're not all ladies, but guess what? We talking about the ladies right now, the ladies of WrestleMania. And there's no person that we would rather talk about this right now. Come on. She hosts, Turnbuckle Talk every Tuesday and Fridays. She loves listen between, and I know there's things going on in the background. That's just New York behind me. Don't even hold that on me. Don't hold that in the intro. However, everything black, everything women, and more importantly, all those things that intersect within the wrestling world. She's a very big proponent of. So we want to bring Mimi to the show. Welcome to the A Show. Welcome to our WrestleMania prediction party.
I absolutely love this party, and I absolutely love that intro. Thank you so much. First of all, I am so happy to share the space with so many other women out there. So, I am truly blessed to have met so many different people. So thank you so much, especially you guys. Thank you so much for having me on. This is my first WrestleMania, so I feel like it's like almost like this is appropriate,
Are you going? Good. Are you gonna go to
Dallas? I'm in Dallas.
Oh my god! Okay, we got a link. We gotta get a photo op, man, for sure.
Yes,
for
well,
sure.
I think I did hit you up and asked if you were going to be in Dallas. I think you said yes.
Yes.
That amazing Paris picture, was that in Paris?
I was in Barcelona.
Oh my god, that picture was beautiful. That's where I told you that I was going to be there. Yeah.
Wow.
So yes, I'm excited. Oh, I'm excited.
Listen, we're here obviously to talk about the women's part of WrestleMania, but I also want to know. All right, so listen, this is your first time on the show.
Mhm.
Won't be the last time, I'm sure.
Yep.
But I would like to know your origin story of how like you fell into like wrestling, and who did you like before, and like what do you like now, and like just so everyone gets a good gauge of like, you know, who you are, where you're at, all types of stuff like that.
Well, if you're not following me on Twitter and you don't know who I like,
No, I know how. I mean,
no, I know you know. I know you know.
All right, this is, but you know, we played it up for the. This is the podcast. I'm playing
Right.
a role right now.
right. Serving it up, right? Oh my God. Okay, so I love telling this story. I fell in love with wrestling either in the fourth or the fifth or sixth grade, sorry. There is a podcaster out there, Big Ray Hernandez. He and I were classmates in the fifth grade. We went to school in the LES in New York City, PS 134, and he came into class during right after recess. They used to do this thing called Reading Now, where you read for like 15, 20 minutes. And so
Yes,
after recess, we
when
came in.
They changed that to Deer.
Yeah.
Drop everything and read. When I was
Yes.
in New York.
Yes. So, our teacher was a Black teacher, woman, Mrs. Lewis. She was adamant, I do not want magazines as a reading, as a reading thing, as a reading tool. And so one day he brought in a WWF magazine with Hulk Hogan, and I think Andre the Giant might have been on it, or it could have just been Hulk Hogan. He had the yellow tights on and the Hulkamania shirt. And I was like, what are you reading? And we sat next to each other, and he showed me the magazine, and I fell in love with the magazine. Fast forward a couple of months later, my brother-in-law, basically him and his friends used to come over on Saturdays when he used to be on Channel 5 in New York City. And we watched wrestling every Saturday afternoon. And I was just hooked to it. Jake the Snake was my scariest heel. I was afraid of him. I was afraid of Damien. I absolutely love the Hart Foundation. I absolutely love the British Bulldogs. Bret Hart was my absolute favorite crush, but Hulk Hogan was my quote unquote hero. But fast forward, that has changed.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's like he's part of the friggin' history, man. And it's so unfortunate because that's another conversation for another day. But anyway, but I just fell in love with it. I fell in love with Ricky Steamboat and the emotion behind it, watching, him and Jake the Snake go at it, and, him getting beaten to his death and not knowing what happened to him until the next week, if he was okay, just that whole, at that point, it wasn't like you're a kid. You don't really have anything, you don't have any responsibilities. It's more like you're just focused on what happened to him. Oh my God, I hope he's okay. And then and then the next week, it's all real to you. The next week he comes back, oh my God, thank God. Or main event happens on Channel 4, that night. And it's like, oh my God, he's good. And, whatever. But then, life happens and you're in the streets, you're in Grant's Tomb, and, you're going to Greek Fest, and wrestling is not really on your top of mind. High school, it's middle school. And that's around the time when people start teetering off. And so, I fast forward, I had my kid in 2004, and one night it was on, I moved to DC. I used to put my kid to bed at 7:30 every night.
He couldn't even watch Raw.
He's a baby. He was a baby at that time, right? And so I would put him to bed and then turn it on. And that one night, I turn on, and I was just like, it was like Vince McMahon and Stone Cold and a bedpan and all of this drama. And I'm like, what is happening in China and this and that? And I'm like, what is going on? What am I watching? Didn't recognize any of the players, the new players. And I fell in love. Like that was my go-to every Monday night. I think it was always on Monday night, whatever night it was. And, I think at that time it came on at 9:00. It came on real, real late. So I would hurry up, be in the house, do the laundry, do whatever I need to do so I can sit down and I can watch this craziness. And so again, life brought me back to New York City. And I stopped watching, and but then my nephew at the time and my niece, my son was growing up, so my nephew and my niece were watching it, and that was when John Cena was around, and I'm just kind of like, not really into it, but into it, you know what I mean? And then my son gets a little bit older, and he's asking me for a pay-per-view, and I'm like, what? Pay-per-view? Like, whatever. I don't know what you're talking about, right? So then he's going to his friend's house to watch it. And then one day, one SummerSlam 2014, his friend, he couldn't watch it at his friend's house. So he's just like, Mom, can we please get the pay-per-view? And I was like, okay, whatever. So I ordered it through TV, paid $60 for it. And he's just like, Mom, no, we have to get the WWE network. It's $10. And
of course,
like,
yeah, $9.99.
I didn't go into $60.
He was trying to help you out.
He was trying to help me out. And I'm like, what? Boy, you don't know what you're talking about. $10? Them pay-per-views are $60. What are you talking about? He's like, I'm telling you, Mom, I'm telling you. I'm like, whatever. So I paid the $60, and it was Roman Reigns versus Randy Orton. I watched that match. I was like, who are these two? The Randy Orton, I have said this countless times, Randy Orton is a technician in the ring. Like, he is the last of his breed, in my opinion, of that wrestler that got trained from the old guard. And you see it every time he gets into the ring. And that match, oh my God, I fell in love with wrestling again during that match.
People don't respect, and I know we're talking about the women on this section of the show, but it's like people really don't respect how good Randy Orton is. And when he's on. Like, I'm not gonna say that he didn't get kind of lackadaisical at times during his career, especially in the early part. But now, this past 2 or 3 years, he's been on. Like, he's one of my favorite things about Raw, and he's amazing. He's an amazing performer.
And you see that, what he is taught is in the fabric of his being. When he does a power slam, when he does the RKO, every single move is precise and pristine. You know what I mean? And when, like you said, when he's off and he's not into it, you're like, okay, you got attitude. Like, he wears his emotions on his sleeve. And I feel like, for me, anybody, when they talk about Roman Reigns, segued into that, and who he is and why I'm a fan of his, I start at that moment of seeing him in the ring, and how, Randy walked him through that match, and he just took everything in. He took everything in that match, and it was just such a great match. Then you trans over to the last man standing between him and Big Show. That's when I was like, wow, that was a great match. Like, I honestly was able to watch. I feel like that match helped me really realize and really look at in-ring work. Because I never really liked to be that surface person. I always, it's like everything. I love Batman. Why do I love Batman? Oh my God, he's got so many layers. I love the relationship that he has with the Joker. Like, it's almost as like they need each other to survive. As many times he could kill him, whether it be a movie, whether it be a random cartoon on HBO. It's always some deep thing that people just I don't understand why people just don't see that it's beyond the surface of somebody's craft that you can be a fan of. Just because he looks pretty does not mean that that's why I'm a fan of him. That man is good. And the story of him denying that, not wanting to be in the business and wanting to go down a different path, but understanding that at some point in his life, he's like, I need to feed my family. Same thing with the Usos.
Right.
We need to feed our family. We need to do that. If that's not relatable, at the very least to a single parent or a family, I don't know what is, and so we go into that not wanting to know them outside of the ring, and
Yeah.
it's hard not to, because things are just so visible now, and so it adds to the fandom that this person is who he is outside of the ring, and what he had to do, the sacrifices, and what he really wanted to play football. And my son wanting to play football, him wanting to play collegiate football, but then got into college on an academic level, and him understanding, you know what, if this is not going to work out, I need to focus on this, and I need to go down this path, and just making those decisions on his own. It felt like you can kind of relate that to that person that you're a fan of, if their I guess their ideologies are the same as yours. So it just,
Absolutely.
again, it just goes, I just don't take fandom for granted. Big E, he's another one. Like, he reminds me of my son. Like, his mom raises him, his mom raised him to be respectful. Even when he's upset, he's respectful. You know what I mean? And to see him take the role as a champion, and people crap on his championship all the time, and I try to correct them. That was not a bad championship run. It just wasn't, not to me. And he exudes his character and his personal life. It bleeds into each other. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so that's what makes me a fan of him. Like, he's such a good person. And look what happened to him recently. Everybody out of every rock came out in support and wished him well. Like, same thing. Brody Lee was the same one. Everybody that you could have possibly imagined came out, And so, I say this to say, like, I'm just not a Surface fan. Like,
No, we see this, and thank you for telling that story. We had to, we let you rock, you know what I'm saying? Because it's such a great story, and you have such a great story in getting into it. And I think it's important that something that you said, where it was like, hey, I'm not just a fan because I think they're pretty, because I think it boils down way too often to, oh, women only like the men because whatever. It's like, yo,
right.
like, women wrestling fans, to me, a lot of times they get the minutia a lot of times between the work, and you see, okay, he's a technician. You know what I mean? It's like, and I'm not saying it because I'm not saying it like I'm shocked or surprised, but it's like, yo, you get it more than men do. You know what I mean? Like, women get it more than we do. I tend to think that men always have tunnel vision to certain things, especially within the wrestling community, where it's like it has to be black or white. There's no gray. And I try and fill people in and say, hey, there's more to stuff than just, there's more to the SummerSlam thing than just Bianca losing in 26 seconds.
Exactly.
Or
Exactly.
there's more to the Roman thing or the Big E thing than he lost on Raw a couple of times. It's Big E's on TV. He's doing NASCAR. He's doing college shows. He's doing stuff like that. That's what that gets him to. And it's like, you really understand, and a lot of, you understand the minutia and the in between the lines of a lot of stuff. And, that I think that's easy.
Yeah, but then it also, just to cap this off, it also lends to the arc of their careers and the arc of their stories and kind of how that goes. You talk about the 26 seconds, that lends itself to the arc of where we're at now. Even the Big E thing, like, as much as it was an unfortunate accident, it's going to lend to the arc of his story of like where he goes and where he becomes and stuff like that. And, you got so many different of these stories kind of at WrestleMania as well. Just being told. I would love to get into kind of the predictions talking about these matches if you guys are ready.
Yes, let's do it.
All right. Listen, let's start off with, of course, let's start off with the Women's Tag Team Championship match, the Fatal 4-Way Tag Team match. I really hope no one is added between the time of recording this and now, but it feels like Fatal 4-Way. It feels set on Fatal 4-Way. We got Queen Zelina and Carmella, the champions, defending against Sasha Banks and Naomi, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, and Natalya and Shayna Baszler, which was a last-minute addition to this match. How do we kind of, I'll start off with you, Mimi. How do you kind of feel about this match in terms of like how it was put together and kind of the, everything that's involved with it thus far.
Well, if anybody's been following me, you know that I'm a big Naomi fan. Like, I absolutely adore her. I didn't understand the coupling of her and Sasha Banks. I don't fully understand the handling of Sasha Banks, but that's another story for another time. I think that I don't know what I think of it now, and I don't want to. I don't want to. I don't. I try not to comment on certain things only because I just don't know that I fully understand why this is happening,
Right.
because Sasha, Naomi,
That's a good way to go about things,
so
and just in general.
beloved,
By
so beloved. So I just don't understand why this is happening, especially when she was tag teaming with Ronda Rousey. Like, that's a big deal, right? So I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, well, maybe they want to just slow build her. Why? It's been like 11 years, but okay, they want to, really kind of take her seriously now. So maybe they're wanting to give them the tag team because people want them to have something to do. But why? Don't just give them something to do. Okay, Michelle, just deal with it and just move on. Okay, all right. You want them to win, right? You want them to win. Okay.
I get it. I get it. It's like, but and I said this on the A show. It's like, it's to the detriment that this WrestleMania is so focused on the Roman Brock thing that everything else, like, it's a kind of an attraction match. And I think that's what this kind of seems like as well, where it's like, what you're tuning into. And to be fair, like, a lot of people, like, this will probably fall on deaf ears, unfortunately, because a lot of people do care about that big main event on Sunday. But with Sasha, and her and Naomi, they've had history by tag teaming before, and they kind of want to give, like, honestly, this is to me a pathway for Sasha to get her first Mania win, and Naomi to be a part of that as well. But to give that to two Black women, and I think, to me, that's the story that they're trying to tell here.
Yeah.
But WWE is far too often, it's like next man up, or this is what we're focused on right now, and this other person will get there later. Because like, another person in this match that I feel like should have a singles match is Rhea Ripley, and I'm like, she should be doing something. And what about Doudrop, who undoubtedly is one of the hardest women. Like, she's had like probably some of the most matches of any women on the roster, and she's not on this card at all. And I think it's such a disservice.
Oh my God. I did a piece on Doudrop in the Fightful magazine last month, and I didn't know anything about Doudrop when I did that piece, and I had to really dig in and do my research. That is one woman, I will say, that has remained consistent with from Viper to Piper Niven to Doudrop. Like, the name has only been the thing that has changed, but she is such a badass and so good at what she does that it just doesn't make sense. Rhea Ripley, I completely understand why they had pumped the brakes, because I feel like it was too soon, right? But I think she's gotten to a place where she understands and took that back seat and really took time to really learn and mold herself, especially on the mic. Because when they took that title off of her, it didn't make sense. When I saw the documentary, it totally made sense. It felt like she wasn't ready. Same thing with Roman when he didn't win 31. It made sense. But then when they took the title off Asuka and gave it to her, that completely, I was just like, okay, they're behind her or whatever. But she fumbled, in my opinion. She fumbled on the mic. She fumbled on the mic to the detriment of her ring work, because she just wasn't focused, and it was too much too soon. So now I feel like it's different. This makes sense. But she's like in a tag team. Like, she's not a tag team person. She's a singles person. Could you imagine Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley?
It's going, when it happens, it's going to happen, and I know that for sure.
Oh my God!
It's
so these two, Zelina and I will leave it at that. But I'm just ready for Sasha and Naomi to win.
Can you believe this is Shayna Baszler's third WrestleMania? You don't even like realize it, right? Like, because she started in the pandemic. I mean, good for her for getting 3 WrestleManias in a row.
Right.
But last two. I mean, she won last year at WrestleMania, so that's always good for her. She lost at the first one, so maybe she can kind of. I doubt she'll come out on the good side of this, but I don't know. WWE does a lot of different things, but this is her third WrestleMania in a row. Natalia, I think she was part of the big story last year with Tamina and kind of like figuring out that arc. Liv Morgan has had a great year in terms of just like them always kind of like, we know what we got, but now it's time to act on it. So you spend a couple months with her and Becky Lynch, and I think you elevated her. I think when we talk about so often on this show about the Raw women's division and the SmackDown's women's division, how the Raw's women's division just is a lot more dynamic and full of life and stuff like that. And that's because you feel like at any point everyone has had an opportunity, so they're up to a certain level, whereas kind of on SmackDown, Charlotte stands alone at the top. Ronda Ripley. Ronda is on another cloud somewhere close to the top, and everyone's just kind of like waiting for their opportunity. This women's division is dynamic. They had a very great, they have a very good match on SmackDown just a couple Fridays ago with Sasha and Naomi versus Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. That was awesome. I'm looking forward to this match because I think that despite people like, slotting them in, like, oh, they're just getting slotted into this match, I do think they're going to put on for the moment that they have. Who do we got winning this one?
I'm going to go with Naomi and Sasha. I think that with two established stars in this spot, a la Shayna, Nia at one point, people that are established that they want to put on TV, you can spin this off into a situation where you can have them on both shows and it makes sense.
Yep.
And I'm thinking ahead here, if they're going to be calling up some 2.0 gals, that could be a possibility as well. And you can input them. I think it's far, and I don't know if this will be the time they do it, especially not with these tag teams, which are basically like dormant for most of the year, most of the time. You could set up some mid-card feuds with the women, but I think if you have Sasha and Naomi with these titles, you definitely have an opportunity to see them a lot more.
Yes. And I think Naomi needs that, in my opinion. Really, I do. I'm with you, Jess.
We're going 3 for 3 because I also believe that Sasha and Naomi are going to walk out of they were the first in the match. You're announced for the match. I'm ready for them to take this, show up on Raw, show up on SmackDown, do it all. I'm ready for the moment of, in WWE, because it's happened in other promotions before. I'm not going to act like it hasn't in other promotions. The first African-American female tag team champions in WWE. I'm ready for that,
Yep.
Let's move on to the next match. I think this one is going to be shorter than the other one that we talk about, so we're just going to get this out of the way for this because this is supposed to close night one. We'll see how that is kind of received. But the SmackDown Women's Championship, Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey. Well, Charlotte Flair defending against Ronda Rousey. This feud to me has been a disservice to the main event slot of WrestleMania, in my opinion. Anyone else, please step in, please.
I kind of feel like, I'm sorry, Jess, you want to go?
No, go ahead.
Sure.
Yeah.
I was not interested in this until last week. I'll be honest.
I feel the same way. I thought that the table thing was the most I've been into it. Them trying to re-rock the fighting security thing. I was like, y'all did this before. You just need to keep it simple sometimes. Yep. And I thought they did that on SmackDown 2 weeks ago.
Yeah. I was just like, oh my God, whatever. I've always felt like, even when she came in, what was that, 2018, right? When she came in 2018, I felt like the women's division did not need her. I felt like they were building themselves up, and it felt like, the optics were they couldn't build themselves up. So we're going to bring somebody to help bring eyes. But I felt like they were doing it slowly, but they were doing it. And now more than ever that she went away for a few years and came back, they don't need her. So for me, it's very much about what I see and the emotion, how I feel at that time. Hence the 26 seconds that I can't let go. But I feel like
I legitimately, we're going to talk about 26 seconds.
yeah,
But go ahead.
yeah. But I legitimately was not into it. I didn't like the Royal Rumble bit. I just don't, Charlotte, she gets poo-pooed on all the time because she's always at the top, but there's a reason why she's at the top. She is the queen and she has remained consistent. 3 different iterations of the queen I have seen again. And I feel like this is the best version of her. And I feel like she, because of who she is going to make this something. And she proved that. And she's doing that. And she did it on Friday. She's helping to create this to be why it's supposed to be the main event. Why it's deserving to be the main event and why she is deserving to be the main event. Because it's really, in my opinion, all I see is Charlotte here. So, yeah.
We also said she coming back for broke because she missed WrestleMania last year, and that probably was not supposed to happen.
That too.
She's like, no, we're not missing out on this year at all.
Not at all.
I feel like, Justin, do you want to comment on anything long form about this?
I'm not mad that Ronda is back. I was not mad that she chose Charlotte, but once again, shout out to Deon for being right that she was going to choose Charlotte. But I think that I don't think they had really good creative for these two. I think they felt as though this was like a Brock and Roman thing when it's not really. I honestly would say I feel like most WWE audiences are kind of tired of Charlotte in some way, shape, or form. And I think you're seeing that here. You give Ronda Sasha or Bianca or even Becky, that's a high angle. That's a high angle off top. Bailey even, that's a high angle over top. Charlotte and Meelz, you've said this, gets the same booking every single feud.
Yeah.
Well, I think the difference between those ladies as well and Charlotte at this point in their career is I feel like at some point
they have adversity.
Yeah, but also on different levels they're willing to compromise, right? On a certain level, like compromise their own character. I feel like these are definitely 2 alpha females and none of them is willing to budge. None of them is willing to add in a seed of doubt or vulnerability. You kind of see that with the, most recently with the Roman program. Suddenly now Brock is now that we realize that he's awakened Brock Lesnar, he's kind of like looking side to side, looking behind the corner. There's kind of none of that in this feud. It's really just kind of like 2 alpha women really running towards each other multiple times, like they're like mastodons or like all other stuff. They're just like running and bumping into each other and all this stuff like that. Whereas I feel like, being an athlete, I feel like that sort of story, it's more complicated than I'm the best.
Right.
Because sometimes you don't believe you're the best. Ronda Rousey, her last, I mean, she won the Royal Rumble, so I guess she got nothing to really be doubted about. But WrestleMania last time, she lost. Charlotte Flair, I mean, she also lost to an extent, but they've never really had that kind of one-on-one encounter. I would just like to see them peel a few more layers back on this thing and actually add a little bit of what they're doing on Raw, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Do you think that they can do that night? Like, do you think that they can tell that story in the ring that night?
I have no doubt this match is going to be fire.
Yeah,
let me be clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
I have no doubt that they're going to kill it. I think that Ronda's going to bring it. I think in big time situations, she is still one of the best wrestlers on the roster. I think there are some people that might have kind of like lapped her. Not lapped her, but matched her really in terms of just talent. I'm thinking like Bailey. I'm thinking Bianca, Becky, even that have matched her first year in the business. I think that we were all in awe that how fast she caught on. But I think that there's women that are on her level right now that they could put her against. But I just think that just get it. It's one of those matches, and I think I'm gonna say this a lot on this episode. Just get it over with. Just give me the match.
Yeah.
I'm ready to see it, and I'm ready to see this thing be over so we can get to the next step and get Ronda working with new people and give Charlotte some damn adversity for once.
Yeah. I think that I think the 3, who was it? Naomi, Charlotte, and Ronda. And Sonya was in this match, but I have to say, like, that Jihad match was really good. I was like everybody shined, but I really didn't see Sonya at that point because the three were just so outstanding. And at that point, it helped me like bring my guns down on the whole Ronda situation. And I was just like, okay. And Charlotte, same thing. Like, I feel like with Charlotte, she always, though her booking is always the same, she knows who deserves it. And I don't want to say it like that, right? Because she's not God per se, the wrestling goddess per se.
Yeah.
But I feel like she knows who she's in the ring with. She knows when it's somebody good. And I feel like she genuinely wants to make everybody better. You know, that whole Lacey Evans situation, I feel like she just couldn't get into it. She didn't want it and she was being forced to do it. And you can see it in the ring. She was not trying to do it. I think when you put her up against really like tough people and or people like Bianca and people like Naomi, people that she knows deserves it, she helps them. And I think it goes back to knowing that, knowing who that person is outside and what their morals are and how upset she got with the 26 seconds. Like all of that made me feel like it made me become an even more fan of hers. If that makes sense.
So who do we think is winning this match?
I think it's Charlotte.
Wow, shit. That would be some next. Listen, Mimi, that is some next level politicking. If Charlotte manages to beat Ronda, her first match back, let me tell you, I think I'm gonna say Ronda because there's just so much more. And this goes into what I'll say during the Becky Bianca match, and I have reasonings for thinking it's going to be Ronda, but I'll say Ronda here. And Charlotte, if she ain't taking time off, she needs to learn. She needs to get acquainted with them tag championships or find a mid card feud.
Yeah. No, you're right.
No. I'm going to say I'm going to go. Shit, I can't really pick one. I wish I could. I'm going to say Ronda Rousey. I just think, this is the direction I think they're gonna go. And let's hopefully spin off. WrestleMania Backlash right there. They'll probably do it again. But let's spin it off into something different. I think this feud has been. I feel like Charlotte's championship reign thus far, now that when you think about it, has been just leaning for this moment. Because quite frankly, she hasn't worked with too many, other than the fantastic Naomi match last month. Hasn't been too many on the radar. Toni Storm, then she kind of quit, and then all this other stuff like that. But I feel like this feud, this championship reign has led to this moment, and I think Ronda's going to take it.
Yes. And as we move through this is a match. This next match we're going to talk about is something that has a lot. It's very, there's a lot of emotions behind this on all sides. And I think we get into the deeper conversation of just, one of these competitors and how people like really, really love this person. And, we love her too. But we're going to talk about Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair for the Raw Women's title. This is a feud that has been going
on Saturday.
This is a feud that has been going since August of 2021. And it started with the 26 seconds. We're not going to get into, or maybe we can get into the machinations of why that happened. I think people forget why that happened or what happened that led to that. But it went through a really kind of a steel sharpened steel moment for Bianca's career, whereas she was without the title. She had an embarrassing loss at SummerSlam, and she had to work her way back to the top of the line. Becky, of course, solidified her title reign with a bunch of defenses from the likes of Liv Morgan, Doudrop, and Lita. And now they finally met again, and they're going to meet again on the Showcase of the Immortals. To me, this is a match that has the most story of anything barring Brock and Roman this year. You have Becky, who was essentially, put her foot in the cake of Bianca's coming out ceremony, and Bianca, who is looking to get her spot back on the biggest stage of them all. There's a lot we can talk about this before we predict it. But I think we do have to go to, really the question that people will ask here is, I think that, and I don't know if you saw a lot of this meme, like where we, people were thinking that Bianca was not getting this match.
I was one of those people almost. I was
really.
Almost, you know what? Wasn't I on y'all spaces the night 26 seconds happened? And I went on this rant.
I think
I was on this rant.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. I don't, and I never have these types of reactions because usually I'm like, oh my God. And then I come down and I try to think about why this happened. And, I can see it. Okay. But, I'll still hold that it shouldn't have happened. Since SummerSlam, I can't even see Becky. I can't even see her. And then when I found out that, there were a lot of the reason why her and Charlotte with that whole Survivor Series situation that happened, the reason why her and Charlotte are kind of like we're at odds or whatever is because of that whole situation. And again, going back to who you are and how you like, I'm a big component of being an advocate of people. And so that's what drew me to the whole Charlotte situation. And that's what kind of like had the curtains closed on Becky. I've never really fully had my curtains open on Becky anyway, because I just feel like out of all four of them, the four horsewomen, she was the weakest one out of all of them. I feel like she has had a lot of luck when it came to Becky Lynch, the man, and now Big Time Bex. But, that's just my opinion. I need this. I almost felt like the way that happened because it felt so out of nowhere. And I was there when that whole thing happened. Like, I was working for the company at the time and everybody was just scratching their heads about it, and it just didn't make any sense. And it was hurtful to see Bianca like kill it in mainstream, kill it on interviews, like interviews that weren't even wrestling related. Like, she understood her brand before she understood her brand. And for this to happen and for Becky to be like okay with it, it bothered me. It bothered me a lot because it's just like, you're supposed to be building this roster, and at some point we were all looking at, WWE's women's roster like, okay, what's going on here, and now it's in a place where no other roster can kind of hold a light to them. And so now it feels like me watching this, and it infuriated me. It felt like it was happening to a family member, and I couldn't understand it. I don't care how much, what show she was on and whatever. Like, I didn't care about any of that. It just didn't make sense because Bianca was doing the same thing, and she was on a trajectory. And I thought she wasn't going to get this match. I thought they were going a different route. I thought they were going to Doudrop. I kept quiet about it though.
Doudrop? I don't know. I don't know about like Bianca has been undefeated for months. Like, she hasn't been beat since Becky beat her. At like Extreme Rules, right?
Yeah, I felt like in this moment, so in terms of like kind of going back to the 26 seconds, because it's all part of this arc, and I wish we got to talk to Bianca before SummerSlam, which was amazing. It's like night and day at this point. Like, everyone was so optimistic heading into it. It's like, yo, we're about to have this match against Sasha, and then everything else happens. So it's like night and day in terms of like things. But you know what? I feel like I've seen this story multiple times before, which is why I was. And then I also kind of know, based on the year beforehand, of kind of where Bianca kind of stood in this company. And then I also do feel like, in a sense, Becky Lynch, I feel like she's a lot more giving in this situation. And I feel like that leads to, when you think of the Raw Women's division, which is, I mean, with the additions of Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair with that last draft, I felt like it's become a lot more dynamic. I feel like there's a lot more opportunity, and I feel like Becky Lynch is definitely a part of that. And I look towards that that 5-on-5 women's match that they had maybe sometime late last year. And I was like, oh, wow, look at this division and kind of like all the different faces and all the different personalities and kind of how they're thinking. And I see Becky Lynch as kind of like the cornerstone of that and able to put herself next to these people. I can't really, and that's why my thing is a little bit different for the Charlotte and SmackDown thing, because I never really saw that with Charlotte over this last run as well. I've never saw her kind of lend her star to other people during this run, where I feel like Becky Lynch has done that multiple times. And I feel like,
yeah, Charlotte would have never worked with a Liv. She would have never worked with a Doudrop. Like, she was barely giving Toni Storm, like, she was beating Toni Storm like a drum.
And her with pies and stuff, like all types of weird stuff. But
she was making her look silly as fuck before she quit.
But I feel like that lend itself. This is why I always felt it was coming around. And maybe this is like lending too deep and we're going beneath the surface and talking about these as people, where I do like to talk about these people as characters as well. I felt like she knew at the end of the day, I felt like during that moment, because were you at MSG?
For SmackDown?
SmackDown.
For Survivor Series?
No, not Survivor Series. That's SmackDown. That 9-10.
Yes, I was.
That segment was so hot between, and it was just a contract signing. It was just like, sign it.
Right.
I remember that. I remember that specifically, and I remember the magic they had, and I felt like Becky recognized that and realized that, and it was like, all right, we're gonna come back to this. Let me tuck this away for now. When we come back to it, we come back to it. And I don't even think this feud is going to be over after WrestleMania, to be honest with you. But I do feel like this is the culmination, definitely, of something, of Becky Lynch's run and how she's evolved. And now she's 10 toes down into her heeldom, and how Bianca Belair, even after last year and that amazing moment of last year, kind of has to resettle and, plant her feet back and say, like, okay, how do you overcome? I mean, the best people don't stay, get down and stay down. They come right back up, and that story of being able to tell that again, and it all culminating now. It could have been, I feel like in some situations, randomly, you could have heard a plans change. We're doing Becky Lynch versus, whoever the Factor, or Ronda Rousey or something along those lines. But I felt like it was made clear that, we need Bianca Belair in a moment somewhere, and in this moment right now. So that's where I think this match has kind of led to.
And just to piggyback off of what you said, everything that you said about Becky is what I saw. Although you weren't able to kind of like see that on a SmackDown level, I personally saw that, and I know that she did lend her star power to some people. I think that the difference between her and Roman, or her and Brock, is while she does have a voice and she does have a platform and she uses it, she can only use it to a certain level, to a certain degree. But she does try. And so, and I know that she's done that for a lot of people. She did try for a lot of people. I think that she put her foot down for Naomi, and that's what it was so killer. But I think you are right. Her booking blinds that, and that 26-second booking blinds me from Becky, where I can't see it because I can't get past 26.
So the elephant in the room here for me is that we've still not gotten an explanation for the Sasha thing, and with the Sasha thing comes the 26. I think that's the one thing that I feel like no one ever talks about, is the fact that match wasn't even supposed to be those two that night. And when that happened, it's like, okay, it's clear that Sasha was not there. It's clear that something had happened, because even when we talked to Bianca, they told us not to mention it. And it's clear that she disappeared for weeks after that and came back.
Yeah.
And if Sasha does show up
another day.
I mean, because my thing is that, like, I asked this question. I say, when can we get over this? Because I feel like there's certain things that happen within the community where it's like, we got to remember that this is they're not doing this personally to us.
Yeah.
They're doing this in service of a storyline that they want to tell.
Yeah.
And this, to me, seemed like, and I said this from the beginning, this seems like the long tail for them to meet again down the line, and then finally have this match and her get her win back. And I think that with that came maybe Becky was not ready to go that night. Maybe they did what they had to do last minute. We don't know. Again, I'm speculating just like everyone else is speculating about it. But you can't forget the Sasha role in the 26 seconds.
You're right.
And no one ever wants to bring that up. And I find it fascinating because it's like, you know, at the end of the day, Becky's not saying, well, I'll go out and squash her. You know, I highly doubt she's saying, I want to go out and squash her. Like, I 100% believe creatives like, go out there and do it, whether you're happy about the shit or not. And you're right, she's not a Brock Lesnar where she can just throw the title at Vince when she goes back, you know, to the back, you know, into the backstage area. But she's gonna make the best of it. And I feel as though from the 26 seconds, what we want from Bianca, maybe it's not the title, but you wanted her to be dominant. You want her to not look stupid like she did that night, and you wanted her to eventually get that win back. And for a woman who was again the sole survivor that year, later on when the women's elimination chamber, her resume is still practically untouched. I just don't think that this one thing, like the Bryan Daniel Bryan, what was it, 10 seconds loss to Sheamus, that didn't stick with him all his career because he ended up main eventing Manias after that. It's like everyone gets the shit kicked out of them in this company, whether we agree with it or not. I feel like Finn Balor gets the shit kicked out of him all the time for no reason.
All the time.
I feel like fucking Roman got the shit kicked out of him for no reason all the time.
And he had to take it.
He had to take it. And I feel like when you're a top guy, you got to take these things in order
to get to that level. Yes.
To get to that level. So it's like when people are like, well, I feel like this is going to happen. And I feel like and I think Bianca's going to win. Okay. But I feel like if she wins, people are going to say, well, that doesn't make up for this. And it's like, well, you want the company to do two to three things with these women. You want them to have long-term storylines. You want them to look dominant. You want them to do all these types of things. And when they finally give you the payoff, you're trying to tell me that this one thing that there's an elephant in the room that no one talks about is the reason why it doesn't matter as much as if she had just lost it in a 10-minute match. Because either way, and I'm going to be clear, people were going to be mad regardless if she lost to Becky. No matter what month, no matter how long, no matter what happened, people were going to be mad at the situation. I think the fact that we finally eventually got here, to me, is the win.
Yeah.
Because they could have forgot all about her ass when Finn lost. And I hate to keep going back to Finn, and you know, I know it's not 1-to-1, but it's like when Finn lost to Roman in that dumbass way, they completely forgot about that shit, and they didn't talk about it again.
When
Bianca lost,
you're right.
They have brought up the 26 seconds every single time to a point where it's like they are purposely trying to get us to think that they did it on purpose. Well, they did, but to get us to give that doubt where it's like, okay, she can't last another 26 or she can't actually beat Becky. And that to me is the best story of it all. Cause it's like, we shouldn't be, I feel like we shouldn't be looking at just that in a vacuum. We should be looking at it that and saying, okay, my favorite babyface faced adversity, the same adversity we say Charlotte doesn't face, the same adversity that we say Becky doesn't face, the same adversity that a lot of the people in the top guys don't face. She's had to face it, and I think she's going to come out on top, and she's going to be even better when she does, because I believe in this character, and I feel like
wholeheartedly.
I love Bianca, and I'm sorry I'm like rambling, but it's like I believe in this character, and I think that like when this happens and she wins, we need to look at this in a sense of, okay, they finally they made it right. Because she did it on the biggest, you know,
stage of them all.
The biggest stage of them all. There was no one that could have said, "Fuck it, I'm not coming to work." Right. There was no situation where they had to do a bait and switch with Carmella. It's straight on her own merits, and I think that's the story here.
Yeah, I think you're right, and I think these types of conversations I need to continue to have for me to get past 26 seconds. And you're right, the 26-second bit, it clouded another conversation for another day because it's Women's History Month. It's Women's History Month, and I have very strong opinions on that. And those strong opinions go back to that, you know, and the fact that, you know, you're told not to even bring it up is it just solidifies everything that I have felt and everything that I have thought, even working at the company, you know. The fact that you think that it's okay to disappear, to just not show up and not think that it has any repercussions. The first time it didn't have any repercussions on anybody, but this time it had repercussions on somebody. And it's repercussions to the point where I have to have these types of conversations to come down from what had happened that night,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And I have to keep reminding myself as an adult to be like, listen, you are missing out. Like every time she gets on my screen, guys, like I can't even watch it. I can't watch it. I just walk away. I will watch it and I'll just only see Becky. I'll only see Bianca and that's it. You know, and I need to stop that and I need to not do that. But I feel like there are these sensitivities in our brains, and that situation hit that point in my brain. And I'm not really a grudge holder. This storyline has had me hold a grudge for a very long time. And you brought the perfect point. I need these types of rambles for me to remember, that, because now
I need like, I hate to interrupt you. Like, I need your perspective too. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I think that too many times we've sat on spaces and we've heard people say, this is for the let it play out crowd. And we've had people in our faces tell us they are not going with Bianca while she's winning the Elimination Chamber. They're not going with Bianca while Ronda is picking Charlotte. They are not going with Bianca as Becky she's beaten everyone on the roster on Raw. You know what I mean? Where it's like, there's no one left for her.
Yeah.
So it has to be this. It's going to be this. And it's like, I feel like, and we can go even deeper in the surface. I feel like as Black people, we are used to, and I'm not going to say that WWE isn't playing on that, on that insecurity, on that fear that we're not going to see our favorites succeed. We had the same fear when people got mad at Kofi Kingston losing that gauntlet match, and people were saying WWE is racist because he lost a worked match.
That's how I'm not one of those people.
And then he ended up at WrestleMania nonetheless.
Yes,
exactly.
And Kofi Mania was born and all this other stuff like that.
Exactly. And it becomes something bigger than what I think. And WWE does this because they want to get a good story, but they do it without the understanding of the sensitivities going on in the community and the world around them.
Right.
And to be fair, that's an advantage, but it's also a disadvantage because of how rabid the internet is now with the takes. The takes are just so rabid. It's too much. So they prey on it where it's like, oh, another white woman taking over a Black woman in this amount of time, but you're leaving out the fact that she was facing a Black woman and a Black woman didn't show up.
Right.
So for whatever reason, I'm not pointing the finger. I'm not saying Sasha did this or that, but Sasha didn't show up. And what happens when you don't show up to something that is as rapidly moving as WWE? They have to replace it. They have to do something. They have to do something to give a story. We don't know if down the line it was going to be Bianca and Becky, then she was going to take it or whatever. But we knew we were supposed to get that match. We didn't. She lost. It is what it is. And I said that at the time, let's see how they play this Becky heel turn.
Yeah.
And I said they always got cute with it until she did that promo on Raw sitting in the chair. I thought it was a great promo, and especially finally saying what we want her to say is that I'll do anything for this belt. And it goes back to SummerSlam. She will do anything for this belt, including cheating, which she did. And now we're rolling back. You know, we're rolling now into this match, which I think we're giving the proper time here at Meelz because this is our main event.
Listen, we've given this more than the proper time. And I'm, to be honest with you, I already know what the answer. I already know what the answer is going to be. But who do you got winning this match?
Listen, it's going to be Bianca, period.
Thank you.
And I'm going to be happy because this is all I want to see. I will put one little caveat on it. This hair business, stay away from it. Stay away from the hair. I'm serious. They don't want to riot. I'm not saying I'm a riot internally. I probably will, but stay away from that girl's hair. Please, I beg you.
And they've just done so much with just the intensity of this feud.
Yeah.
That feels natural in a way that Charlotte and Ronda feels fake.
Yeah.
Where
it feels forced.
Becky's ducking her. The reason why Bianca's even getting this shot or getting an extended, way to get this shot is because of Becky inadvertently. Yeah. Putting herself in the way in the matches that got her here. So like it's very much like a story of two women who are both, again, we have two stories of women that were alpha females, but one's doing it better than the other.
Yeah.
Where one is they're playing on Bianca's down, and I think this is the kind of like the last storyline you can do where it's like, okay, Bianca's kind of unknown, she's kind of still a rookie. When she beats Becky, that'll be like the third or fourth. I think it'll be all horsewomen she's beaten already.
Yep.
You know.
Yep.
And that she's here now. You know what I mean? Yep. She's here now, and I think. And I'm going ahead of you, Meelz. You think it's Bianca too, right?
Of course, yeah.
Okay, I'm going ahead of you, but like I think you come out of this with Bianca as Raw champion, and you give her Asuka, you finally give her Rhea by Money in the Bank. You know what I'm saying? And we finally get that fucking match that we want to see for so long, and that's your fucking Roman Brock.
Yep.
In my opinion,
you let her lead the division, other than the last time where the division kind of led her in a way.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
You let her lead the division, and you give her the opportunity. Here is the ball. I felt like with the last year's run, it was great and all, but it was clear that they were like, holding her hand along the way. We're going to give you this person. We're going to give you that person. We're going to give you that person. Now it's time for her to be in charge, and this is her stepping into that leader role, and that's what I think is going to happen.
I counter that. I think her program with Dewdrop, as good as Dewdrop was, I feel like she was shepherding Dewdrop. Business wise, she was shepherding her. In the ring, they were helping each other, and I think Dewdrop was helping her, especially with all of the assists. However, I feel like it was evident she was the veteran in the ring when they did touch. It was just a testament to Bianca. It's a testament, man.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot to say with even the Dewdrop program, that they had the best matches on the show.
Yes.
Whenever they faced each other.
Oh my God.
And I don't get tired of these matches. They've done them 4 times now. I haven't got tired of one. They're fire every single time.
That's right.
They are, to me, they have some of the best chemistry in the WWE right now.
That's right.
And
right.
I think you let her, you let her prove, she's proven herself now. Now it's time. She got a chance that I feel like a lot of champions have never got. I haven't seen a run like this since like CM Punk, where they got the belt, lost it, and then they had to work their way back up to a point where they're like, okay, I'm him now, or I'm her now. And I think that I look at that now and say, yo, the first time it felt like the belt was controlling her. Now it seems like she's the bigger star.
Yes.
She's a big enough star with the belt. And I think you come out of that, Bianca leads the division, and you come out of this, but Becky going for Ronda. I think it's Ronda and Becky and Money in the Bank. I think you could realistically have Becky kind of move on from that.
Absolutely. Well, listen, Mimi, thank you for your expertise and your lending us your brain and lending us your kind of everything for this discussion regarding the women at WrestleMania. Listen, we're gonna do this again. Because I felt like this was a discussion that definitely needed to be have, and I'm love all parties involved. So I'm glad that we had this, and I'm glad that you were part of this. So thank you. Where can they follow you and kind of, Turnbuckle Talk and everything that you're doing?
Well, thank you so much for having me on. This was such a pleasure, and it was so much fun. You can follow me on Twitter at I am Mimi Chelles, and you can also follow the Turnbuckle Spaces handle. We are on Tuesdays at 7 p.m. And Fridays is our after party after SmackDown at 10 p.m. And on IG, you can follow me on It's Mimi Chelles. And yeah, just follow me because I write for different websites. So if you follow me on Twitter, that's where I'll post most of my my articles. Hopefully I'll find a home soon. But I'm kind of like roguey. I don't like to just commit to just one thing, and I just like writing about everything.
Been there. Trust me.
I love writing about
Justin been there.
Right. And I just love writing about everything, and I just like featuring myself on different platforms because I feel like I that's showing everybody love. So once you start committing yourself and I just write for this place, then you can't really write for other spaces. But I feel like the space has grown so much that I just want to bless everybody with creativity, and it's great to be creative together. So love you guys. I hope to come back on again.
Amazing. We're back on the A Show.
More the damn A show. Listen, WrestleMania prediction party. It's still rolling strong. If you are here, you were in. You went for the long haul.
Yeah, I don't even know what we haven't even put this shit together. I don't know.
But you're in for the long haul.
I don't know what part of the show this is, but thank you guys for rocking with us. I know you guys listen to the show like on your commutes and you listen to this while you're getting ready and stuff like that. Hey man, thank you so much for listening to it, and especially to our patrons. You guys are waiting patiently every single this might come out a little bit later today because of all the editing we got to do, but thank you guys, of course. And so it's down to me and you, Meelz, for the main event. The main event. This Mania,
go ahead.
This Mania's got some big matches on it. We've talked about some of them. I know this, but there's a lot about the card that people don't like. A lot of people are really sour on it. But we're getting to like some main events where people were like some of the people in these main events have barely touched each other and stuff like that. Like they barely actually had any physical altercations. Some of them had like none whatsoever.
Some of them we don't know.
We don't know. So we get right down to it. Let's start off with AJ Styles and Edge. This is a first time ever match. I think a lot of people don't even recognize this, but this is the first time these two have ever faced each other.
I would hope it's the first time they ever did face, because at this point, I mean, so this feud, I think Edge and AJ, it's definitely been, first of all, I don't think this is going to be over with this. Edge doesn't seem to do one-offs. He is not a one-off guy. So I don't think that this will be over in this stage or this, incarnation of this feud. But, this AJ and Edge feud, it all stems from this, if you can say an Academy Award-winning promo that Edge had on Monday Night Raw, where he discussed he needs this WrestleMania moment. He needs another WrestleMania match. It's in his bones. This is him coming off of just having an amazing tag team thing with his wife and just checked another thing off his bucket list. But he needs that WrestleMania moment to kind of feel whole again, to get the blood coursing through his veins and all this stuff like that. And who comes out to answer his WrestleMania challenge? None other than the phenomenal one, AJ Styles.
Right.
And from there, we see Edge completely make almost a 180, very sharp turn, a wild, wicked K-turn into the world of heeldom, and just kind of on a very express basis transformed his character into a completely different entity within the span of 7 days.
Yeah, of a week. New song. We still haven't heard that new song again since we heard it that 1 week.
Shit about to be mixed and mastered, baby.
Yeah, it's about to be crazy. But one thing I do like, and I feel like, again, I always say this with Edge because I feel like he does have a lot more say in his programs than anybody else does in the company. So I'm pretty sure he's probably been like, keep me off TV. Y'all worry about this. This match sells itself. And I do agree. This match has sold itself. AJ Styles is a proven commodity. This version of Edge is a proven commodity. There isn't much that needed to be said after that concerto. It would have just been redundant, right? It would have just been like, y'all are just doing the same thing over and over again, week to week, kind of like what he did with Randy Orton. I think that this is a strong steal the show contender. Edge has shocked me since his return. Every single big show, with the Seth matches, the Roman Reigns match, even the tag match has been he's really working. And AJ Styles, there's not a moment at a big show he's not working, so I think this is going to be fantastic. Meelz, what do you think?
No, you talking to the Edge head here, so I think everything that he's going to do is going to be fantastic. But I do think it'll be very, very good. I think it may be pulled back, especially if this isn't their first encounter. And I also sidebar, if there's a match to steal the show at WrestleMania, this is potentially be it. I feel like both cards have one match that's just going to go out there and steal the show, because I think WrestleMania just itself is more about the moments, more about the spectacle, less about proving a point, having these 5-star matches, anything of the sort. But this is definitely a contender based on kind of the output that both guys are having. AJ Styles potentially at his best, Edge potentially at his best, doing the damn thing together. I would have loved to see more story, but I get what you said as well, because this feud kind of just sells itself. It's AJ Styles versus Edge. If you're a wrestling fan, you're going to love this. who I think is going to win this match now, I don't know. There's no momentum trending in any direction. Like, you know,
that's a good thing.
Yeah, it is.
It reminds me kind of like how they they used to do in New Japan, where it would be like, okay, I want to fight you. Okay, I want to fight you too. Like, there's no momentum either way. Actually, shockingly enough, reminds me of the AJ Nakamura match from Wrestle Kingdom, where it was like they had never touched before, and this was going to be the first time, and we just had to watch and see. And I think that's giving me the same type of energy. It's like how can they make this crazy?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that Edge has been on quite a winning streak. AJ has not, in terms of like big matches, right?
Right.
I'll go ahead and say AJ hasn't really won a lot on WrestleMania, right? He's like 1-3 or something like that, 2-3, something like that.
He won against Nakamura. He lost his first one. He won. What the fuck did he do last year?
Shane McMahon. He beat Shane McMahon.
McMahon.
I'm wilding. He's won a lot. Never mind. He could take a loss here, but he has won a lot. He's probably lost like one time. I'll go ahead and say AJ Styles. I'll say AJ Styles.
I'll go Edge. Just, whatever. I'll go Edge. I love Edge.
You can't lose here. So like,
I can't. It just is what it is.
But it's gonna be fantastic, and I think we're gonna go out for it. I'm definitely gonna be locked into this one because the storytelling. That's one thing that I will miss about being in the crowd, and I'm gonna actually re watching this and just to kind of see the storytelling that I might miss in the crowd. Like, there's definitely gonna be some shit that I miss just watching it, and things that I don't even hear watching the show.
Right.
Next up, we have Seth Rollins versus Noob Saibot from Mortal Kombat. We don't know.
An opponent of Vince McMahon's choosing.
So there was a 5-minute segment that was preceded by Seth Rollins doing some good storytelling here, showing that Vince McMahon had texted him saying, "Come to the office. I'll tell you about your WrestleMania match." And Seth goes to the office.
We are truly in 2007 with this one.
Yeah, I like it.
Texting.
We gotta really really give it up to KO and Seth for carrying these programs with two people that have not actually been on the weekly shows. Like, they have done the work. I said it 2 weeks ago. These are two heels that have the most segments on the show, are carrying the show most days, and have the biggest storylines. Like, he is absolutely still a bad guy on this show. Vince tells him he has an opponent, but he's gonna announce him at the show on Saturday. It's on WrestleMania Saturday. So WrestleMania Saturday is looking crazy right now. Let's just tap in here, man. It's Cody. Okay.
Is it?
Is this an Eric Bischoff, Vince McMahon moment? Shake hands, put the hands up moment?
I think, you know what I'm looking forward to? First of all, I'm looking forward to how Cody is introduced. I'm looking forward to the entrance to see if it's just as over the top as all his fucking AEW. Listen, he's not the EVP of this company, so it might be he might just get like, some red, white, and blue on the ramp, and we keep it simple. He's not but if he gets the flame, the pyro, the over the top wrestling entrance, I will be sports entertained. I'll just say that. I'm so interested in how he's introduced, because this is gonna kind of say a lot, and it's already said a lot, right? Based on how the storyline goes, based on the positioning of this, who's involved. Vince McMahon is involved with this program. Who he seemed to really just be involved with Austin Theory for the last 7 months.
Yeah.
So the fact that Vince McMahon steps out of that bubble to also get involved with this program, it definitely says something. It'll be interesting to see where Cody kind of lies on the other side of the spectrum, but he's going to show up and show out in this match.
Yeah. They got to.
Mm-hmm.
They got to. It's Cody got to make a believer out of me that you deserve all this money, because I know you got broke off the bag. But this is bigger than the match, Meelz. Because the thing is, here's my thing. I don't want to say it doesn't matter who wins or loses, but this match is a moment. This match is a grab your nuts moment.
Absolutely.
We got Ronda, we got Brock, we got Stone Cold, we got Johnny Knoxville, we got Logan Paul, we got the biggest women, we got the biggest dudes facing each other, biggest two black niggas facing each other. Oh
and we got your fans to cheer Cody, something you guys couldn't do.
Yeah, and we got your mans. This WrestleMania got something for everybody. We got your mans.
Y'all wanted a little AEW in this? Well, we got a little some.
Yeah, this is a grab your nuts moment, and I think I can't think of anyone bigger than Seth to kind of do this. But I'm gonna say it right now. I think Seth's gonna win.
I also think Seth is gonna win.
People are gonna be mad, but you gotta realize all the shit this nigga been talking for the past 2 years. He gotta lose this one. Take this stomp. Yeah. Take this buckle bomb. Yeah. And then you get your win back next month at Backlash. That's cool.
I think he's going to win this one. I think Seth is going to win this one, but I think it's going to be amazing matches in general. I think for the last number of months, I mean, you look at the kind of Cody on the other side of things towards his last couple moments in AEW. I mean, he had a great ladder match with Sammy Guevara, put himself through a flaming table for whatever fucking reason. I think this style of, I mean, he's always been the sports entertainment style of wrestling within, I guess, whatever that wrestling company is. Now it kind of feels like this is where it should be. And if he's given the longitude and the latitude to do what he wants to do, I think he knows that this thing can be amazing, but he just needs WWE to give him the opportunity to do that. And I do think that this matches that. The rollout for Cody Rhodes, if they do call him Cody Rhodes at this point, the rollout for Cody Rhodes at this point,
you can get his name back because they own it. He could be Cody. I'm being real. He could be Cody Rhodes again. They own it. That's the reason he's Cody.
Yeah, I mean, at least he got the opportunity to buy his masters, I guess. But this is the road. This is the opportunity that they're giving to Cody. Cody needs to grab this shit, and he needs to hold on to it, and he needs to never let this go. I equate this as similar to how AJ Styles got the opportunity of a lifetime when he debuted. And he took that moment, and even though he took a lot of L's when he started off, he made the best of the moment, and he eventually got that W. So this is the moment for Cody. It just is. All right. I don't want to put too much pressure on him. I'm sure he listened to this in whatever fucking rental, bus that he owns.
But let's talk about like the introduction of him at the show. Like that is a supreme hold my nuts moment. Like that is a supreme like, yo, yeah, you can't do it like this. And you got to look at like even AEW themselves. They seem to have like punted this week, right? Like they're just like we can't even. We're gonna be watching like everybody else, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
They don't have nothing big coming out of this. But to be fair, they've never really, to be fair, they've never really tried to compete with this weekend. But they've really not even like Dynamite isn't even going to be crazy this week. You know what I'm saying? Like they've completely kind of like moved out the way for this. And
you're right.
Cody is definitely. I think that would definitely be a reason why they did that. Like we'll get them next week. Like that's what they're gonna do. So we both say Seth, but really it doesn't matter. We all win here, watching the show because we get to see all the drama and all of the hatred if you know who doesn't win. But now we got the biggest WrestleMania main event in history. Unifying the titles, winner take all. Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Before we start here, like Meelz, do you think this is the biggest WrestleMania main event in history?
It's got the most stakes on the line. It's got the two biggest titles in the company. It's got the two biggest wrestlers over the last probably decade. Yeah. Like, why would I lie? I mean, yeah, it's got a lot of stakes on the line. I think it's the stakes that's on the line. I think it's the pride and the egos and everything on the side that makes this probably the biggest main event in WrestleMania history. I know it's really supposed to be a build. I'm not going to call it. Now, I think there's a difference between the greatest WrestleMania main event in history. I think this can calmly take the role of the biggest, and there can still be a greatest that people can debate all after the fact. But go ahead.
We've never had a match with two guys that were undoubtedly like the top, but with these stakes before. And
with these stakes, yes.
With that's why I have to say with these stakes, like, because we had Rock Austin twice, but they didn't have these stakes. And
WrestleMania 18 could have benefited from an undisputed championship match between The Rock and Austin.
Maybe, yeah, but
we didn't get that.
Yeah, but there's history here. There's a story here. Roman even brought it up. He's never beat him at WrestleMania. When he said that on Raw, I said, "Holy shit, he hasn't." Which is like, that's the last, right, Meelz? Like, that's like the last hurdle for him to be legit here. And my second point here is that, like, okay, we know the match is going to be good. I think really just the what this match means and what's going to happen from it. Where the hell do you go, regardless of who wins this match? What happens the next day? There has to be something happening, because I don't know where this, like, everyone's like, yo, this seems like this is just, somebody said like a couple months ago, this seems like this is just the end of wrestling as we know it, or something like that, like something really dramatic. I was like, not really. I think this is the end of the current way that they're doing things, and into the new way that they're doing things.
Right.
And that's what we're about to see. But what comes out of this, regardless of who wins?
I think what comes out of this is, it's interesting because I don't really see the need for a unified championship. And it would be dumb if they just ununified it like 2 months later or something along those lines. I don't really see the need for a unified championship, nor can I see both of these guys continuing to travel from brand to brand and people getting the opportunity and one world champion and stuff like that. I don't see it. The brand split is not, it just doesn't benefit from that kind of, the way they would handle that kind of business. So I'm not really sure what we see on the other side. Like, to be honest with you, it's kind of, not to say realistically, I can't see what's on the other side. Like, as persons say, like, this may be the end of wrestling as we know it. We all know that it's not, but it feels like I don't think anyone truly knows what's coming out on the other end of this.
And that's on them. Like, when they said that, they were like, they booked themselves into a corner, all this stuff. As far as the ride goes, I'm just enjoying the fucking ride. As far as they booked themselves into this, for the program, I like a lot, and I've liked it since he appeared in July. I've liked it all the way up to here. Obviously, COVID, it got muddled, and I think again, people they tend to overlook.
They got it back. They got it back.
But I feel like, just like I told Mimi, like, people like always seem to overlook the circumstances that they can't control, like Roman getting COVID at day one. That kind of that derailed this program, and that's why we got that weird moment in January and February. But like, I think that it's up to WWE to realistically book something that is interesting, but also book someone to beat either of these guys after this is over. Because once whoever comes out of this, and really whoever loses it too, they're the biggest things in the company. When you beat them, it should be an Undertaker level rub. When you do that, the only person I feel like really got that was really Bobby Lashley. Just look at the reaction he got when he even looked at Omos, because now he's like, oh, he beat Brock Lesnar. He was a WWE champion twice in 1 year. You know what I mean? Like, that's the rub you got to get. And it's like, who realistically do they have built up? And that's on them to create that. I mean, when it comes to the title, I'm pretty sure they'll rock 2 titles for about what, a month before they come up with a unified title. I don't think we've seen any leaks about that being out yet. But what is a unified title? What does it mean, and who's going to get it, and what does that look like, Meelz? Is it just going to be one title? Like, what do you think?
I don't know. I don't know. Like, I really don't. Like, this is, you know why? Because this is such bizarre booking to me. This is so, not that it's like, we've seen unified championships before, but this doesn't feel like it makes any fucking sense to have. It feels like maybe they want to get rid of one belt and like usher in a new kind of championship, and maybe they want to do that. But even still, it's like Universal Championship still kind of new. WWE Championship, you're not going to get rid of. I really can't see the other side of this. Like, and it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just like,
I don't know.
yeah, I don't know. This is so bizarre. I'm not even. This like defies logic. It's really kind of now imagination and you know, fantasy, even to an extent of like, all right, so we have one unified champion. We have this is fucking. I can't even say Goku versus Vegeta because Vegeta gets beat all the fucking time. This is Goku versus
the ball hit. Was the name hit or what was the other nigga?
Nah, Hit gets beat up too.
The guy he couldn't beat. Who's the ball guy? I forgot his name.
Oh, Jiren. Yeah.
Jiren. Yeah, that's what it is. Brock
This is
Jiren.
that. This is that. And it took like 8 niggas to beat Jiren.
Yeah.
This is a massive thing. I'm looking forward to this match. I'll say this. I think the story that they've had involved, I think the way that they've transformed Brock Lesnar since SummerSlam and the way he's approached things with his new promo style and his new character just in general, I think it's the level up that Brock Lesnar needed in his career. There's only so many times you could have seen him with track pants, sneakers, and in a new t-shirt for a new town, and that remained fresh. And I think over the last number of years, we expressed those sentiments because we didn't want Brock Lesnar to be world champion based on the fact that it was no longer fresh. We no longer were having these kind of like, you know, we no longer wanted him booked in any of these programs because it just wasn't fresh. And I think the rehabilitation of Roman Reigns over the last 2 years itself, the decision to truly give him, no pun intended, the reins of control on the brand and everything, you know, after the fact. This is the heel turn that we never saw John Cena get, you know?
Yeah.
And I think 10 years ago, they don't do this because they're trying to stay head above business. Like they're trying to, you know, we got tickets to sell, we got t-shirts to sell. They're thinking that. They're not thinking like we've got, you know, entities and streaming libraries and so many other commodities that they can sell that they can afford. They're like, oh, you know, we could turn our biggest star heel and he'll still be our biggest star. He could still generate all these other things. So I love the evolution of kind of both these things and just the business that's taking part in this match itself. And I think, you know, we have, and I think just the relationship between these two, we've heard it. I think Brock Lesnar obviously respects Roman Reigns because he's at the point where the business is so good. He's like, okay, you guys finally made a star. Like he's willing to lay down for you're not willing to lay down for Dean Ambrose at WrestleMania 32 or where the fuck it is.
He's a goof. He's a fucking goof. He looked at him and said, nah. Give me some real. But remember, Brock didn't like winning that last time, you know?
Right.
That's why I think Roman's gonna win this. Because Brock didn't want to win the last time.
No, you're right. But at the time, Brock Lesnar was the big, he was the commodity. He was the measuring stick. He was the attraction. And now you have Roman Reigns, who's such an attraction. They can leave him generally on an island of his own, which is called SmackDown. SmackDown, which does not have a lot of top stars on it, but it has Roman Reigns. Think about that.
Yeah. I feel like Roman wins because I think this whole time someone in the back, whether it be him or someone else, has not felt like that the Universal title was what he needed to have around his belt or around his waist. He needed the one with the lineage. And if you combine those, we all know that the lineage gets combined. Mm-hmm. So he will have the longest, I think he'll have like the longest reign, right? Of WWE title. He'll have the longest reign. I think that's what they want. I think they want him to beat Brock. I'm pretty sure Brock does not care. He'll still be Brock losing does not take anything off of Brock. You know what I mean? I think this has been the setup here. I think Roman wins. He gets the WWE title, the unified WWE title with all the lineage. Mm-hmm. And he's the number one guy on that because that's what they're giving him, and mm-hmm. he fucking deserves it. Just give him maybe 7 more reigns so he can be up there with Triple H and all of them. I think that they are definitely I think they're looking at the Universal title as an abject failure. I'm just gonna be honest. Like the Universal title, we can say that now. It was a failure. It's a failure, and I would think that they would want to start over. Look at the reign. Look at the reigns. Hold on, let me pull it up.
No, don't pull it up. I know who's there. It's Brock. A lot of times.
If they do the motherfucking NBC Universal title, then we'll be good.
They call it after a network. Nah, nuts to that. Like AEW
so
got their TBS TNT championship, but what if they on Spike TV?
Hold on. Finn, KO, Goldberg, Brock, Roman, vacated. Brock, Seth, Fiend, Goldberg, Braun, Fiend, Roman. Failure.
I don't know if it's a failure.
It's a failure. This is the longest reign.
I mean, yes. I think there's no... I don't know if I could call this a failure, bro. I don't feel like the championship...
It was, well, not a failure. Cursed.
I think the Universal Championship was never going to pale in comparison to the WWE Championship from the beginning. From the time they called it the Universal Championship.
And it was just red, and like even Mick Foley was like, "Y'all need to calm down." Remember that shit?
I was there, nigga.
He was like, "All right, y'all need to chill."
I was there. I was there when they unveiled that belt and everyone booed. It was like, nigga, it's just red.
Yeah, how do y'all boo a title? Like, get touch grass. Anyway, okay, maybe not a failure. It was definitely cursed. Look at just the reigns. This was the Brock title. This was the Brock and Fiend title for a really long time.
Sure, yeah.
And you know, that's just, you know, where it kind of has stayed. And you know, if we're looking at it within that sense, I want Roman to have the WWE title. He needs to take it to the bigger show, which is SmackDown. It makes sense. Where this leaves Raw, I don't know. Where this leaves Brock, who knows? That's on them. They need to figure that out. Not us as a fan sitting at home. They need to write, just like with Better Call Saul. I'm rewatching. They figured they wrote themselves into a corner every season, and they write themselves out. If y'all are who you say you are, y'all need to do this shit. Y'all, you got time. You got a whole bunch of big shows coming up. Do that shit. Because you're not doing it to the women. You're not doing it to anybody else. This is your biggest title on one of your shows. Figure it out. But I think Roman's winning. What do you think?
I think Roman's winning because, yeah, he has not beaten Brock. I think the story's leaning in that direction. I think Brock Lesnar is okay to lay down on a sword at this time in his career, especially for a guy like Roman Reigns who can carry the business. Yeah, and then Brock goes away, runs off into the distance, and rides back on some sort of cowboy horse and shows back up at a later date. But I do think Roman Reigns wins this. Roman Reigns becomes a unified champion, and someone, I mean, I don't know if it's going to happen in this year. The Rock is next year.
Yeah.
So he might hold the championship for another year. We might be transitioning. This might be just a kind of ploy to freshen up Roman Reigns' fucking incredibly long championship reign.
It's his world. We just live in it.
There it is. It is.
And there goes our prediction show for 2022 for WrestleMania 38. Thank you guys for listening to this. It's incredibly just laborious but enjoyable to do with everybody. I want to thank everybody on our team. Cyrus, Quan, Channing, Armon, Deon.
CC couldn't be there, but shout out to CC too. I mean, he couldn't be there, but
I understand people doing it on the show. I mean, this is nothing against CC. Love CC.
No, love CC.
Trevor Trout, thank you so much. Chelles, thank you so much. And yeah, to all our patrons, thank you as well. I have to actually get right off and go put the show up for you guys. But thank you all for listening. I will be in Dallas this weekend. If you see me, say hi, man. Say what's up. We're gonna be really loud.
Don't be weird though. Don't be weird. You know what I'm saying?
Don't be weird. Please don't.
You know what? I trust the people who listen to the show. I trust them.
Okay. Don't be weird. Just say, yo, you know what I'm saying? What's going on, brother? I'm gonna be at Wale Mania. Shout out to Kaz, Wale, of course, everybody over there. gonna be there. But yeah, I gotta do the show, and I gotta pack, and I gotta get ready to go. So next week we'll be back with with my thoughts about Mania live. My thoughts on Mania weekend. We're gonna run through the show. That's gonna be another long one too, Meelz. So strap in for that one as well. So yeah, thank you all for listening. We really appreciate you guys. This is always one of our biggest shows of the year. So until next week, y'all be safe, and especially if you're going to Dallas, please be safe. Please be safe and get home safely as well. And we will see you guys next week on the A Show. Peace.